The 6th of August 2025 will forever be remembered in our history as a people, as a nation, as a Black Wednesday, the day that 8 gallant heroes of Madagascar passed on to glory in line of duty. 8 men left their homes, left their families to serve Mother Ghana, to never return. A devastating blow that has been dealt this great nation, and we all join our hearts, our minds, our hands together to commiserate with the bereaved families. We wish them strength on this day, and we pray that the good Lord himself will continue to condole and to console the families of the bereaved. Indeed, it is a sad and difficult time for us as a people. And for us as journalists, as presenters, this is one of the most difficult moments for us to bear such great, sad news. Indeed, it is difficult. It is heavy on our hearts. Yesterday, when we got the information, we held on to same, hoping that the government communication would debunk it. But as fate will have it, the unfortunate had happened. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. Not so excited today because the news is still fresh in our minds and on our hearts. We continue to grieve as a nation, and we pray that the good Lord will keep the 8 or the souls of the 8 in his bosom, give them eternal rest. Today on the show, we'll be looking at this unfortunate tragedy, a national tragedy of monumental proportions that has befallen this great nation. And we'll be looking at the individuals who have passed on to eternity, who they were, what they stood for, what their service was for to Mother Ghana. But for the families, we say take heart. We say stay strong. We say keep the faith, for indeed the good Lord gives and he taketh. But let's remind you of a few things before we zoom into the show itself. The Literacy Challenge has entered into its second phase. And so the announcement was made on Monday, August 4, 2025. Top 50 contestants have been announced, and they will be sitting for a written aptitude test at the British Council on Saturday, 9th August 2025 here in Accra. The time is 12 noon, and so you might want to show up early and be part of the aptitude test if indeed you have qualified to be part of the top 50 who will be sitting for the Literacy Challenge. So it's happening on Saturday, the 9th of August, 2025 at the British Council here in Accra. Top 50 contestants from across the country who have made it to the second phase, level 2 of the Literacy Challenge, will take part in a written aptitude test. I want to say thank you to Belmu, thank you to GB Assessment for sponsoring the Literacy Challenge 2025, which is brought to you by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 City FM. Now, on September 6 and September 7, we'll have the This is Ghana exhibition, which is a groundbreaking event for all Ghanaian businesses, all homegrown businesses, innovations, and of course, indigenous corporate bodies for SMEs, for startups, for local small-scale businesses to converge on the Afua Sutherland Children's Park here in Accra on the 6th and 7th of September 2025, 10 a.m. each day to showcase Ghana's export potential to bring Ghanaian products, goods and services to the rest of the world. Call 0205 973 973 to be part of the This is Ghana exhibition. Call and register now. And when you register, we would like to entreat you to follow up with your payments to be able to secure a spot or a slot to participate in the This is Ghana exhibition. It's happening on the 6th and 7th of September 2025. Be a part of it. Register now, pay, and secure a spot. And then let's showcase Ghana's export potential to the rest of the world. It's going to be a big event, and you might just want to be a part of it. We'll see you on the 6th and 7th of September 2025 at the Afua Sutherland Children's Park here in Accra. Now, let me show you an easy way to have access to the news. Yesterday, a lot of you were calling us individuals here in the company for information on the tragedy that had befallen the nation. Unfortunately, we were unable to give it to you as you wanted because we are waiting for official confirmation from the government. But if you want access to the news readily available wherever it is you are, go onto the Google Play Store and download the Channel One News app. The Channel One News app is available on the Google Play Store. So go there now, download the app, and you get all the news that you so desire. A lot of tributes have been pouring in since the news broke yesterday. We have all those tributes online on the app. So go to Channel One News, go to the Google Play Store and download the Channel One News app from the Google Play Store and get all the details right there. All right, that said, let's get into the newspapers, which, as expected, will carry the unfortunate news of the demise of 8 heroes of Mother Ghana. I'll start off with the Daily Graphic. Front page says, tragedy strikes nation. 2 ministers, 6 others perish in helicopter crash. President declares 3 days national mourning starting today. And you have pictures of the 8 who have passed on the front page as well. Quite unfortunate, quite heart-wrenching, difficult one to deal with, but we pray for strength even as the nation continues to mourn. So tragedy strikes nation. 2 ministers, 6 others perish in helicopter crash. President declares 3 days national mourning starting today. And then when you go to the back page, it has pictures that show scenes from the crash site. We continue to commiserate with the families of the deceased. The Ghanaian Times also has same story as expected. National tragedy, it says. Omane Buama, Murtala Mohammed, Alhaji Muniru, 5 others perish in helicopter crash. National tragedy. Omane Buama, Murtala Mohammed, Alhaji Muniru, 5 others perish in helicopter crash. UN, Germany stand in grief, solidarity with Ghana. UN, Germany stand in grief and solidarity with Ghana. Then you have Cocoa Shea Lords government for increase in cocoa price. Cocoa Shea Lords government for increase in cocoa price. On the back page, you have the Abosso Bompeso chiefs applaud government's effort in cracking down on Galamsey. Abosso Bompeso chiefs applaud government's efforts in cracking down on Galamsey. Then you have art, craft, needlework back into educational curriculum. Art, craft, needlework back into educational curriculum. So that's the Ghanaian Times newspaper today. The Chronicle is here. Chronicle says, "Oh, Omane Buama, Murtala, fare thee well." Oh, Omane Buama, Murtala, fare thee well. Drama in Adan, DCEs beg chiefs in public during Asafotufiam. Drama in Adan, DCEs beg chiefs in public during Asafotufiam. Then you have Mark Master Masons renovate Osu Government Maternity Home. Mark Master Masons renovate Osu Government Maternity Home. The scripture for today, Titus 3:1. Remind them to be submissive to rulers and authorities, to be obedient, to be ready for every good work. Titus 3:1. Remind them to be submissive to rulers and authorities, to be obedient, to be ready for every good work. May the Lord add his blessings to the reading of his word. When you jump to the back page, you get your sports stories there. Isaac excluded from training and family day with Newcastle squad. Mola joins Vancouver in MLS after Bayern exit. Wisa back in Brentford training, but wants move. And then you have Scotland keeper Gunn joins Forest after contract expiry. So that's the Chronicle newspaper. I bring you the New Republic. The New Republic says, Ghana shaken. Top ministers and military personnel perish in chopper crash. Ghana shaken. Top ministers and military personnel perish in chopper crash. Private schools commend NDC government for inclusion in free SHS policy. Ex-Cocoa Board officials face probe. Board chair vows accountability. Inflation hits 4-year low as Ghana's economic ship finally steadies. And you have Shatawale seeks Antoine's help over stolen Lambo banter with Iyoko. Shatawale seeks Antoine's help over stolen Lambo banter with Iyoko. Now the BNFT says, disaster. GAF helicopter crash kills 2 ministers, other top officials. Disaster. GAF helicopter crash kills 2 ministers and other top officials. In entrepreneurship, it says BNFT launches Youth Economic Forum to support young entrepreneurs. On migration, CSOs push for ratification of AU Free Movement Protocol. In the cocoa sector, you have Kokosh backs 3,229 CD cocoa price. Inflation eases to 12.1% in July, but household pressures persist. Inflation eases to 12.1% in July, but household pressures persist. A few stories on the back page as well. Republic rate post modest gains amid real estate market shift. Fund eyes residential focused expansion strategy in 2025. And then you have feeding futures together. Ghana Hungry Agribusiness Forum unites key players in innovation and investment. So that's for the Business and Financial Times B and F team. Now let me take you online. Start off from channel1newsonline.com. Channel1newsonline.com will bring you some stories from them. Chief of Staff leads delegation to receive remains of Omane Boama and others. Chief of Staff leads delegation to receive remains of Omane Boama and others. Kufuor mourns victims of military helicopter crash, calls for national unity. Kufuor mourns victims of military helicopter crash, calls for national unity. Mahama declares 3 days of national mourning following helicopter tragedy. Mahama declares 3 days of national mourning following helicopter tragedy. Health Minister moves late Omane Boama's mother to Accra for urgent medical care. Health Minister moves late Omane Boama's mother to Accra for urgent medical care. Helicopter crash. Majority caucus commiserates with families of Omane Boama, Mutala, and others. Akufo-Addo mourns victims of military helicopter crash. Minority mourns ministers and others killed in military helicopter crash. Bodies of Omane Boama, Mutala Mohammed, and 6 others retrieved after helicopter crash. Then you have full list of 8 persons confirmed dead in military helicopter crash. Omane Buama, Murtala Mohammed, others killed in military helicopter crash. Again, military helicopter reportedly crashes in Ashanti region. So that's how we began breaking the story. You know, when we received the news, we had to be circumspect in reporting it. We had to be careful and appeal to all sensibilities. And so we broke the news of the crash and waited for government confirmation before we went ahead to announce the deaths involved. In other stories, licenses of 4 trawlers suspended over regulatory violations. That's according to the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, who doubles as Member of Parliament for Shamma, Emilia Arthur. She took her turn yesterday at the Government Accountability Series and spoke to a number of issues, including the suspension of licenses for 4 trawlers over regulatory violations. Then you have government cuts out middlemen in premix fuel supply to end diversion. Government cuts out middlemen in premix fuel supply to end diversion. Yeah, so as I mentioned, she was on the Government Accountability Series speaking to a number of issues. If you want the details of these stories and more, go to channel1newsonline.com. You can get the details of these stories there. Or you can have the news on the go. Go to the Google Play Store and download the Channel One News app and literally walk away with the news. Now let me take you to citynewsroom.com. citynewsroom.com. Find out what stories they are leading with on citynewsroom.com. Interagency team investigating helicopter crash. That's according to the Ghana National Fire Service. Interagency team investigating helicopter crash. Consumers to enjoy lower interest rates soon. Stanbic Bank Chief Executive speaking there. Consumers to enjoy lower interest rates soon. That's according to the Stanbic Bank Chief Executive. Importers, exporters call for urgent resolution of GRA-NIA standoff. Importers and exporters call for urgent resolution of GRA-NIA standoff. Catholic bishops, GPCC, mourn victims of helicopter crash, call for national prayer. Catholic bishops, GPCC, mourn victims of helicopter crash, call for national prayer. Chief of Staff leads top government delegation to receive remains of Defense Minister and 7 others. Chief of Staff leads top government delegation to receive remains of Defense Minister, 7 others. Council of State mourns victims of helicopter crash, urges national solidarity. Council of State mourns victims of helicopter crash, urges national solidarity. Kufuor mourns victims of military helicopter crash. Kufuor mourns victims of military helicopter crash. Mahama declares 3 days of national mourning over helicopter crash. Mahama declares 3 days of national mourning over helicopter crash. Comfort them, Lord. Mensa Otabil prays for families of helicopter crash victims. Comfort them, Lord. Mensa Otabil prays for families of helicopter crash victims. Ekufuado, Bawumia, mourn Omane Buama and other victims of helicopter crash. Ekufuado, Bawumia, mourn Omane Buama and other victims of helicopter crash. And then we have confirmed all crew in fatal military helicopter crash were from Takrady Air Force Base. All crew in fatal military helicopter crash were from Takrady Air Force Base. So different angles to this developing story. Quite disturbing, quite unfortunate. It's very sad thrown the entire nation into a state of shock, a state of grief. There's national mourning, 3 days of national mourning declared by His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama. If you want the details to all legs of this development story or angles of this development story, go to citynewsroom.com as well as channel1newsonline.com, and you can get all the details of this story and several others on our web portals. But download the Channel One News app on the Google Play Store, and you have access to the news on the go. The Channel One News app is on the Google Play Store. Friendly and quite easy to navigate, the user interface I'm referring to, but also easy to find on the Google Play Store. Just type in Channel One News and you have access to the Channel One News app. Download same, install on your phone, and literally walk the news wherever you go. It's quite unfortunate, 8 lives lost to this helicopter crash. We'll be looking at the lives of these individuals, their service to Mother Ghana, their contribution to nation building, and of course, our commiserations will go out to the bereaved families. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. This is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining Made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the Ifo Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, and Side Hassle.
On the Upside Down Show this week, we present to you the bold, vibrant, and brilliant Anita S. King. Expect nothing short of real talk, raw truths, and revelations. We always need that one opportunity to sprout, and she, like any other, isn't an exception. Ghana made me, she said.
My career started here.
Here in Ghana.
Right. Ghana is my foundation. 150%.
Great.
Home is what built me.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Ghana is what built me. If you see Anita and who Anita is today, it's because Ghana built me. Yeah, 100%.
Thanks to the land.
You know?
Right.
So love you, Canada, but Ghana built me.
And even though she's perceived as a superwoman, she's had to make tough decisions at some point.
I had to take 2 steps back away from my career. And also, and this is what I share with a lot of my friends and my colleagues now, is a wonderful appreciation that in different phases of your life, you are a particular person.
Right.
You don't have to be the same person you were before that.
Exactly.
You have nobody to please.
So set your reminder and join us at 7 p.m. this Sunday only on Channel 1 TV.
Congratulations to all top 50 contestants of the Literacy Challenge 2025 Level 2. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Stay tuned to City FM and Channel 1 TV to find out which of these 50 contestants make it as the top 10 finalists for the Literacy Challenge 2025 to compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis and a trophy in a classic quiz competition. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Bell Moo and GB Assessment.
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensa.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and thins of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensa
I welcome you especially to Lifeline
every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together.
Hello again. Thank you for joining us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. A nation in mourning, a nation in grief. 8 Ghanaians left their homes, left their families to embark on service for Mother Ghana, but to never return. We're in shock, we're in disbelief, but who are we to question the Maker? We pray that the families of the bereaved are consoled. We pray for strength for the families, and we pray that the Almighty God will keep the souls of the dearly departed in his bosom and grant them eternal rest. This morning, joining me in studio is the editor of the Herald newspaper, Larry Dogbe. Larry, good morning. Difficult times, but I trust you are well.
How good is the morning?
It's difficult.
It's not a good morning.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. The Honorable Sete Champon is also here, former Member of Parliament, former Regional Minister for the Eastern Region. Honorable, difficult times.
Very much.
Very much so, very much so. I'll start with you, Honorable, because the late Defense Minister hailed from your region. And you are also deeply involved in politics in this country. He led, if you like, the affairs for the NDC going into the 2024 general elections, serving as the Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress. How well did you know Dr. Edward Omane Boamah, Murtala Mohammed, Alhaji Muniru Limuna, Samuel Sapong, and then, of course, the former parliamentary candidate for the... I mean, the lives of these 8 cannot be replaced. We cannot downplay any of them in this particular matter. A life lost is a life lost and can never be replaced. But how did you receive the news and your thoughts surrounding same?
The last month has been a very sad month for me as a person. A very good former colleague who I call uncle, the Honorable Kwesi Amokwata, lost a wife.
Oh,
Very sad news. Then we all lost our international star, Daddy Lumba. We're still in mourning. We haven't even exited. My relationship with Dr. Omane Boamah predates our partisan politics. Dr. Omane was a student activist. So I was a student activist myself, though they were behind us. But once you're in activism, you find your likes. So they inherited, when we left Nooks, they came to inherit himself, people like Dr. Amin Adam, the immediate past finance minister. And so when CJ recruited him, I know don't bread. They also came later, like Okujeto. So, but Omane came after Amin Adam and co. So you could just relate and connect with them. But that aside, I have a special relationship with Dr. Omane because as a Kans, my maternal, lineage takes me to Efijuasi.
okay.
And he's from Efijuasi.
Yeah.
That's where his father comes from. And then his mother also comes from Kwewobomi,
Right.
which falls within the Embrace constituency where I used to be a member of parliament. And he's a neighbor to my cousins that were very close, first cousins that were very so close. So we meet at several levels. And the news really devastated me. I just couldn't believe it. Knowing Dr. Murtala Ibrahim Mohammed, as a young communicator for the NDC, I had sat on shows with him. He eventually came to meet me in Parliament and lost his seat. He used to represent the good people of Nantong. And then he lost. And when my senior brother, former colleague, Yunus Afuseni, decided not to contest again on the Tamale Central seat, Dagomba, known in Tamale, decided to go for that seat, which he won. And I remember vividly our encounter when I had left Parliament and he was returning to Parliament for the 2021 to 2025 8th Parliament. And we had some useful conversations. So I wasn't surprised when eventually he was to become our Minister of Environment.
Yeah.
And we kept our relationship. And look, this is so painful. These are young lives full of energy, full of determination to do public service. And aside as having opposing ideologies when it comes to stewardship of our country, they are human beings. And they will frankly share with you what makes them and what constitutes one to be called a human being. It's so painful. And not just them alone. Mr. Sapon, who used to be a former Ashanti regional minister, before being brought to Accra to serve in
also
mainstream.
served as mayor of Kumasi.
Yes. Just Ashanti regional minister, not just mayor.
Yeah.
Once
He
upon a
served
time, he
as
was
mayor
a
and
regional
then
minister.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's so painful. And the men in uniform, and painfully, the acting deputy national security coordinator, his major assignment, main assignment, maiden assignment, and this tragedy falls. I always say that we are all saved by the mercies of God every day.
Yeah.
Because countless times I've sat in that same vehicle in the similar stewardship on behalf of the state. It could have happened to anybody.
Yeah.
But we never ever prayed that this was going to happen to these great brothers of mine. I mean, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it that this misfortune has really struck our country. I truly, and in all sincerity, sympathize with the immediate families. I mean, if you look at them, these are all relatively
Young
fathers, all of them.
Yeah.
Being a father myself, when I sit with myself in there, I can imagine the pain. One of parents who gave birth to them, if some are still alive. Additionally, their spouses.
Yeah.
How are they going to, contain this loss? The children who look up to them for leadership, we may at a point in time offer scholarship in terms of funding and sponsorship. However, there's always a human connection that one needs from a parent. And for me, these are the great losses that it's going to be tough and difficult, because people, definitely there will be successes who will fill the gap, but I pray to Almighty God to strengthen the families across the board, all of them, and we all have to pray for His Excellency the President of the Republic and the entire administration. In public service, more often than not, if this has not happened, nobody knows what goes on in public service. The president would definitely have a calendar, and on that calendar, the president would have more than sometimes in a day 20 invitations.
Yeah.
And he needs to appear all over. Why? Because he's the people's president.
Exactly.
And he must appear before the people whenever the people need him, because he's their steward. And so if you are an appointee, a subordinate of the president, and you are serving in government, you cannot tell yourself that I will not show up here or there. And more so when a major policy event is going to be showcased, like what they were going to do in Obuasi yesterday, which is cross-sectoral. You cannot recuse yourself unless with permission. And so it is a tough task on stewards when these things, happen. Many a time I hear commentaries and people are wasting our tax resources. They are driving in SUVs. This brings me to when we lost the urologist. Same in Eastern region on the highways. And every life lost in this country is a major loss to this country. I mean, all of them have capacity. They've been trained. They've been given the needed skills to help all of us build our country together. We've lost all the talents. We've lost all the energy, the creativity, the willingness, and the measure of faithfulness that they had sworn to themselves to help all of us grow Ghana. Ghana is really, really in a mourning day, and I also will encourage all of us, like I said, to pray for their families. As we pray for the administration, we pray for the families as well, because all the losses, they are the worst of it, because they are the receiving end, leaving home as a parent in the morning, as a son in the morning, and wishing your family see you later in the day, only to be told that this predicament is befalling one. It is not an easy task.
Indeed.
It's not an easy task.
Indeed. Larry, your paper has reported on the military, over a very long period. The man that sits atop the ministry, the defense ministry, is no more. He was traveling in a military aircraft. The deputy national security coordinator was part of that, or part of the passengers aboard that craft that did not make it. How much of a loss is this to our defense architecture, our military, and all?
It is true. We have, as in the Herald, we've written a lot about the military, in particular, the attempt to retool the military, and that included, vehicles, and then including, aircraft, and then let's say armored cars, all that. We've also written about the uniform and the corruption that is always associated with some of these procurements and so on. The failure to subject them to the critical, everyday, rudiments of procurement. Yes, we have, and it's there. Now, Omani becomes the Minister for Defense. And he announces that he's going to, or the government will be doing a $1 billion retooling, agenda. Now, it's because the military, as we know it, is not in any good state. But as far as some of these things are concerned, procurements have been done, but most often you find out that what was procured didn't fit the purpose for which it was. One typical example was where they brought some armored cars from Azerbaijan that were in the Soviet era, almost 53-year-old,
over 50 years old,
50-year-old, and the money that went into that. I think it was one of the things he was investigating. The president had, instructed him to investigate. So, yes. But Omani and I have a very, good relationship. I remember my first trip to Switzerland was at his behest. He was then the Minister for Communications, and then the World Telecom Union was celebrating its, I think, 75th anniversary or so. And he said, "Oh, hey, come, let's go." So we went, and we had a very lovely trip. Occasionally, we check on each other. In the recent months or two, we have been very, very, very interactive with one another. He's invited me to his office many times, and I'm like, come on, am I coming to your office because you are now a defense minister? Why won't we meet? And constantly he will call. He got a secretary, a naval officer, to also call me to say that, hey, the man is waiting for you. So, we were to meet up. Guess what? On Tuesday, I was to be on another trip with them to Benin. That's how come Tuesday I wasn't here. But at the last minute, he pulled out, and then Broja Fi rather went on the trip with us, with one of your colleagues, Nilate was there. So I think that it was because he pulled out because he was preparing for this particular trip.
Right.
He pulled out because he was waiting to go on this particular trip. When I got there, Broja engaged me that the man says he's been waiting for you and you are not showing up. I've seen your name in, dispatch, that's dispatches or so,
right.
and that you are to come. I said, hey, I've dealt with this man on the side. Walking into his office as a minister. I might not be very, too comfortable, so we should rather meet on the side, and we just laugh over it and then went on. So it's, for me, it's something, I can't believe it. The whole of yesterday, when the news came out, I couldn't believe. I've been,
It's difficult.
Yeah, difficult, and to see that, hey, I was just praying that, listen, it wouldn't be true. It would be one of those things, that would have happened.
That was our prayer here as well, because we actually started receiving the information at about some minutes after 10, heading into 11. But we held on to it and held on to hope, praying that official communication will come out to debunk it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
there's been a couple of helicopter accidents here and there. And in Ghana in particular, we bought some Russian, helicopters during the Kufuor era that also got, involved in accidents. One of them, they were taking a former air vice marshal to go and bury somewhere in the eastern region, and then it got down in the forest.
Yeah, somewhere around Nkoko.
Nkoko,
2002.
Nkoko or Itiwa thereabout. There was another instance where it was about landing, and then
That was the one. That's the funeral one.
The funeral one, okay. But then there was a particular one that we had lost a senior who, went to Bishop Eman.
There was 2002 around Nkoko in the eastern region. 7 dead.
Okay.
Then there was 2014. The Cape 3 Point.
Okay, the 2002 one.
The offshore one. That's May 2014.
Okay.
That one, 3 offshore rig workers died.
Okay.
Others survived.
Yeah.
Then last year, Air Force helicopter crash landed near Bonsukrom in the western region.
Okay.
It was carrying 21 people, but fortunately all survived.
All survived.
survived.
So the
landing is always
safe.
Yeah. So there have been instances where people have walked out of tragedies like that, and so I was expecting that the news, that hey, indeed we went down. However, we managed to walk out of this thing. But then later I made some few calls, and then I started receiving videos. Videos. Wow. This is not something you want to deal with. You are not even expecting your worst enemy to go through a thing of a sort.
No.
The fire, the bent or the charred bodies and so on. Come on. I knew Omani very well.
Yeah.
But from what has happened to Omani Buama, I'm not sure I'll be able to,
It's difficult. It's a difficult time for
recognize
all of
him
us.
out of whatever has happened. It's unfortunate, and as Honorable said, we pray for strength for his immediate family. The wife, I'm told, is not in town with the kids.
Okay.
Yeah, they are outside at the moment. So few friends I know are trying to dash to wherever they are, and if possible, help bring them, to Ghana. I'm also told that he's the only child of the mother.
Male.
The only male child. Okay. And so, as an aging mother, you expect that your son should be the one burying you, not the other way around. But here's a case where you can't even recognize your son out of whatever has happened to him. We can deal with sickness. Sickness can, prepare your mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Terminal illness, cancer, all that, and so on can prepare your mind that, listen, from the way it's going, the ultimate or the obvious is at sight.
Yeah.
And so you begin to prepare your mind for it. Whatever you need to do, you put it in place. But this particular one, like Honorable said, Mikwe Jumaba. I'll be back soon.
Yeah.
And this is what has happened. I spoke to a friend, yesterday, and he said, in the morning, the previous day, they talk every day, every other day. Nana is out. That day, he's called him. We couldn't get him, but he called back. And so while talking, I said, you know something? The military people have arrived, so let me go and pay compliment to them. And then I'll call you back so that we continue our conversation. That was the last he heard from him. So I'm sure after that interaction with the military, he just hopped into the aircraft. Never to return again. It's a tragedy.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to deal with this.
Yeah.
The president would have been in that aircraft.
Yeah. Yeah. He was scheduled to.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, he was advertised to be on there. So when the announcement came, people thought that Ama Kofi Bua was also on there. Yeah.
Fortunately for him, he was already at the event.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all saw the shock and disbelief on his face when the Ashanti regional minister narrated the incident.
But the interior minister was supposed to join.
So I was in Benin with the interior minister. Because the guys they've set up this factory that they are producing, police uniform, military uniform, and so many other things over there, some Indians. So I think the government told that, listen, let's go and have a look at it based on invitation they received. So, and the walking we did up and down, I would have been surprised if Muntaka, was also on that trip as well. So I wasn't surprised at all when I heard that he was to be on it, but couldn't go. Yeah, pulled out, the last minute. It's difficult. I mean, even if you've been saved, it's difficult for you.
Exactly.
You've been saved. It's difficult for you. Omani again has been a very, very, very tight body of the president.
Yeah.
Minister for Information, or even deputy before. And then Minister for Communication. Then later, I think he did environment before. Communication. And communication is President Mohammed's baby.
Exactly. Yeah.
You get it. He pays a very particular, attention to that, that particular ministry. Yeah. And then after the 2016 defeat, he comes back later as Minister for Defense. But in between that, the two of them very, very close.
Yeah.
I mean, people will tell you that
elections, many people attribute the victory of the NDC to him.
Oh, yeah.
And we saw the video of him, I think, on the dawn of December 8th, when the votes had been cast here in Joma, in what appears to be a strong room, taking him through the figures.
No, they were very, very, very close. I mean, if you counted 4 or 5 people who would be closer to President Mahama at any given event, Omani will be part of it. So it will strike him really, really hard. Initially, we heard that he was to do a national address. So everybody was waiting for that. For me, when he couldn't come out, it was obvious that
quite understandable.
Yeah, he couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. It reminded me of President Mills's death, where he had to be brought in to take the presidential oath. It was difficult as well. You could see that he was in the within on the floor of the house, but the man was somewhere. The mind wasn't. It's difficult. Later on, I'll tell you Omani, and then how.
I mean, it's sad, but we would need to deal with it. 8 lives have been lost. We will have to deal with it at different layers.
So you talked about how we can't question the maker. But can we question human art?
Indeed, we can.
Yeah.
Indeed, we can. We can.
Yeah, because very often we try to hide our negligence behind God, behind religion, behind so many things, and in the in that kind of situation, human resources, loved ones, good people have been lost needlessly.
Due to the negligence of others.
Exactly. I mean, hey, if the weather was bad, the weather was bad. Let's ground the thing. People were there. Can they do the thing? Yes. I mean, the weather hasn't been good. The weather hasn't been good. True. And from the story from the town, this is not the first time that a similar thing has happened. That there was an incident where the aircraft they went and came back and then came, and landed because the weather was bad. This one, you can believe that visibility became very difficult, so came down to fly at a certain altitude. But from the description, the mountain is quite quite tall, and so the moment you strike some tree or something, you go down. It's like a bird in the air struck by something. Wherever from.
But Honorable, like I was saying, we need to deal with it, and we have to deal with it at different layers, and it will have to be at, I mean, all the different layers would have to be dealt with specifically, and we cannot do a one-size-fits-all. So as a nation, the president has declared the 3 days of mourning. Flags are to fly at half-mast. But as a nation, how do we deal with this monumental loss? 8 Ghanaian lives lost in one day in the line of duty.
Nana, I have had the privilege of monitoring the statements from various leaders within Ghana. 2 former presidents alive. The former vice president. I have heard from other presidents from bilateral relations, as well as other international multilaterals have also, today, by virtue of the internet, news quickly travels. I think as a nation in mourning, we have to be cautious so we don't do anything knee-jerk. This is a monumental loss, a major national disaster. I mean, it's tragic. The tragedy cannot be described. However, going forward, we have to pay attention to things that would be able to protect us and prevent some of these happenings. Like Larry said, I believe the Ghana Armed Forces would certainly put in an investigation into this matter. The National Security will put in an investigation into this matter.
We've been told of an interagency investigation that has come.
Certainly, all these actors are going to go into the merits and the demerits so that it becomes a guiding principle for leadership going into the future. A person who once upon a time was privileged to associate with the security system, because I used to be a chairperson for the Select Committee in Parliament. I know and I knew that we needed to beef up our fleet. It's always been a conversation. Now, my pain is that more often than not, when this conversation comes to the table, the design or whether how people perceive it to be, it ends up becoming a political conversation, which I know is not healthy for the country. Because whether we believe in it or not, once we have adopted this democratic dispensation, it comes with certain costs. Believe it or not, this could have been our president. Perish the thought. This could have been our president, because he was the main speaker for the launch of the event that took off yesterday at Brofuedu. And so my inside account tells me that at a point in time, he was at a function at the Kempinski Hotel, and state protocol was pushing. So it happens. If you've been in stewardship before, you can appreciate this, because the president's calendar is managed. The president is managed. And so state protocol must also do their work, because people answers to others. And so they will do whatever it takes to make sure they achieve the objective of an assignment offered them, because they are also stewards. But as that function was ongoing, it became obvious that the president will not be able to make the time to leave that function and attend upon this one in the Ashanti region. So he had to allow some subordinates to go and represent him. And so, like I'm saying, it could have been him. Such a monumental loss after President Mills. To come again on this country, no, we can't carry that. And so I say that as a country, if we are really going to stay in this practice, we must bite the bullet. We need to ensure that we provide the necessary vehicles and logistics for office holders. It is not luxury.
Training.
So the necessary logistics, because point is that if you're going to procure equipment, the manufacturers will tell you, we would need set of skills, and the persons who are going to man it would have to be there for training. And sometimes people don't know, we send our Air Force pilots to be trained on certain aircraft. You'll be surprised that it's not every Air Force officer who we know continues to fly or can even fly. So it's always a challenge. You'll be surprised when you get into the military. You see, the military has a culture called mentorship. And so for me, I was a bit challenged when some officers were asked to go home, because at a point in time, you may have maybe some senior officers who you expect to have stepped into certain shoes. But if they are not actively flying and they don't have the requisite know-how day to day to mount such equipment, you may have a gap.
Right.
And so those are some of the challenges that when we advocate, we don't advocate because of one being just asked to go, but for on behalf of the state, the loss that we would incur. My prayer is that going forward, we should all, like I said, we should hasten and be very cautious, slowly, in going through the motions, in helping unravel some of the gaps that may emerge as a result of our investigations. So we don't hurt souls, because this is a tragedy. Everybody analyzing or speaking to this subject may have one connection or relationship with the subject. It doesn't mean that they may be wrong. And look, somebody may not have the opportunity I am having sitting with you discussing this, and the person may be a direct relation to this. I know that in Obomi today, where Omani's mother comes from, is a major blow. Omani was loved by the people of Obomi because he endeared himself to them. Not just Omani alone. Mutala. Not just Mutala alone. The acting deputy national security coordinator, a former regional minister. Not just in one region, northern and upper east. Dr. Sapon, similarly. So the candidate who is now serving as a deputy NADMO coordinator hails from the area in Obuasi.
He
The
contested
men
for
in
Obuasi
uniform
East.
who were on board, the sergeant who was at the crew, because normally before a helicopter takes off, the main pilot and the co-pilot and a crew member will be on board. because of the space in a helicopter. Helicopters that we have vary with passengers, and so you may not have, that's why they said they have 3 crew, maybe so and so passengers. And so that is how they would describe them, because on the manifest, that's how it is reported. So the crew will be the pilot and the co-pilot and 1 attendant. So that's the sergeant. They also have family. And they were mandated on that aircraft because it is their responsibility in the Ghana Armed Forces on that schedule to act for and on behalf of the country. So they were also in public service and national service. And so as we discuss these conversations, we should also be reminded that they also have families and who are dependent on them. And so normally I wouldn't want to go into investigation mode now, because already the president has declared to us that we are supposed to be mourning the departed for 3 days for a special reason, cutting across the country. Look at where they are all coming from down south, some from Middle Belt, some from northern part. It's a state of mourning to our country. And so, Nana, in as much as I may have some knowledge, I restrain myself to go into some of these things because you may be hurting lives. Some will not be able to even put on a television because the mere discussion, mere conversation may even trigger people who may have some underlying conditions, either a result of a non-communicable, disease. And it could also bring further devastation to the country. I in as much as I can share, I think I'll restrain myself going forward from here. Because it's a difficult thing. And it's a very difficult matter. If you've lost a loved one before, and knowing our culture and the way we do things, I allow me to restrain myself from further commenting on these matters, because as it just triggered within me, I mean, knowing the gentleman is so painful. Omani was, I can call him a retail politician. When he's got time, countless times I've met him in Efijasi at funerals. He comes to Kro, he's in Efijasi, in Koforidua, and he's attending to local social functions, getting himself out there for people to know that he's also a community member, a responsible community member. Mutala likewise. And I know, Mr. Sapon, today I know some of my people are going to his relatives and to go to his family home to visit them traditionally, how we need to do some of these things. Because irrespective of our competing ideas, at the end of the day, we are Ghanaian. Perish the thought, I repeat again, that I wake up and I hear that Larry is no more. I can't speak with him. Nana, look at us here today. And I'm happy by my faith as a Christian that I should not hold anybody in my heart, no matter what they do to me. Vengeance is the Lord's. I shouldn't judge because I don't want to be judged. And I shouldn't condemn because I don't want to be condemned. And if I do so, God blesses me. I pray that we can all begin to look at some of these things and walk it, because it pays nothing. Look, if you hated these people, today they are no more. To what end? So I always do my best not to fall and allow myself to go into such mood. No matter the difference, one must give up. Because this thing could have happened to anybody. Nana, look, I have been in this work, and even in the eastern region, my region, because the eastern region is quite diverse. You may have to attend to a function, and the calendar is such that you are programmed. Officially, we have 8 hours in unofficial working days in our country. So maybe a program is happening in Oda, it's supposed to be 11, which a president must appear, or the vice president must appear, or a fellow minister must appear. There's another one happening at 2, maybe in somewhere Krobo, and or somewhere a Sojaman. You know, traveling across the region. If somebody was traveling from here to Cape Coast, the person could get to Cape Coast and you're still traveling across the eastern region. This is my experience. So if you need the people, and like I said, the leadership were put in office by our design and mechanism by the people. So when the people call you, you can't say you will not be there. You have to be there. And it's just hopping into that vehicle. There are people on ground who are going to mobilize and receive you. And so if you hop in that vehicle, by the time you arrive, there must be ground organization to also offer you service so that you can meet your demand. Public service is indeed no child business. And I will pray that we'll all grow into it and ensure that we put our monies where our mouth is and save this country. This will be my statement.
Very well. Thank you for that. Larry, Honorable has dealt with how we can deal with this as a nation. I'll come to you on how we can help the families deal with it, especially from the media perspective. They belong to families, and so we should allow them space and time to grieve. However, they are public officials, and the nation needs to be updated on what is happening regarding the passing of these individuals. But I want to take us to the community where this unfortunate incident happened. Sikan in the Damongo area, Rofuedu area, and find out what's happening in the community this morning, a day after the unfortunate incident. Middle Belt Bureau Chief Hafiz Tijani is on the grounds for us. Hafiz, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Nana.
Thank you so much for joining us. So it's daybreak after a rather unfortunate day yesterday. You brought us pictures from the area, especially when the remains of our dearly departed were being carted and escorted or transported from the area. But how's the community faring this morning?
Well, so they are waking up to what I say is a reflection or a playback of yesterday's incidents. You find people in small groups from their homes standing in the communities talking about this matter. A number of them are reflecting and also talking about what they saw, what they heard yesterday, and even going through that journey to catch a glimpse of the sights and the scene and all that. So it's still a moment of shock and grief for these people, because they say this is the first time they are seeing a disaster of this magnitude, and they are still yet to comprehend what has happened.
Very well, Hafiz. Now, when the crash site, it remains a security area at this point. Is that so? Has the place still been cordoned off?
Yes, for now, it remains a security area and a crime scene. And we have officers from the Ghana Armed Forces who are still here throughout the night, and they are still here this morning, ensuring that that area is not tampered with, ensuring that people do not go to that area. Yesterday in the evening, the opinion leaders with the assemblyman for this community, they made repeated announcements and told farmers who have their farms close to that area or who even have their farms there not to access that area until after the security agencies and other relevant authorities are done with their investigations. And we are also learning that this morning a team of investigators will be coming from Kumasi. They have arrived in Kumasi from Accra, and they will be coming to the Sikan community to begin their investigations. A while ago, we saw a meeting of opinion leaders within the community who are also going through some ritual pacification of the community. They say they have to carry out some rituals to cleanse the area, and they have also been advising farmers and the inhabitants to cooperate with investigative bodies when they come to the community so they can have accurate information and all that. But when you come to the community, it has been that of grief still and shock. People are still shocked. So I'll be speaking to some of the opinion leaders and also some eyewitnesses. One of the farmers who first heard the sound and had to rush to the site to tell us what he saw, exactly what happened. So we'll be speaking to this gentleman. He was at his farm close to where the incident happened to tell us what he saw. About the Bachana One TV so.
Yeah.
No, they see they know who ye.
Patrona na mo fuma me spray na me wie no anche na machine besin trim repair na besin trim o trim na about 3 minutes time them tia say sound be akoso forest nim nti me frame minua ba ko no na fu ben forest wo say wate de asina na na o sa an nti me rush mla na yankore nti me ko no kra di nkan akohwe ba bia de na sie no aba na mene no koi nti ekoi na yekuhu de na chese ahia ma wontimi kra bibie no ho betimi ayafon ebe yinti ma me frɛ assembly man a report kire no say ma me ntwa picture and send obi anase ma me fru obi nka bibia nkire no kopim so no abeba be hu a obe report case nti ma ha me ho kra say me ye bibise ntim ko papers na ehia na na ate no ho nti me dum eja no firi on am the 20 assembly man by na me the papers man say people we na buy me hu ya
na paper ban
me hwe so no na from Kotoka International Airport bisa na also papers bisa and na it was intimi assembly my ban am dan man to on also dan my reach now on buy
Okay, so he is a farmer. He operates within this forest you see behind me and where the crash happened. According to him, he was engaging in some farm activities when he heard the sound. Then he had to rush to the place. Then when he got there, he was confused. Then he had to call the assembly member for the area because he was the first port of call to get him to come and then also witness what has happened. So the assembly member cautioned him not to take any picture or any footage and send to any person until he gets there. Then he can also relay this information to the relevant authorities. So he says that he found some documents there which he had to keep and also handed them over to the assembly member who then handed over to the military officers who later came to the scene. Then he was confused when he got there. He didn't know what to do. Then he saw that the charred bodies were there and the helicopter was also bent beyond recognition. Nti uduru hono na uhu se nipa nation na uduru no mo ahye wi ana se no mo da so hye.
You do ono na first body a das run de na ahye wi eja na dum. But omo down de na stone eja de ma ehye na wutu anwa gusu kra na afi na eja no edemo ntino na wo ye no hwe enye yi. Nti ama ye twen ama me ba fie be fa assembly my call ye no na chi no na soja fo no du ono na omo be tutu ayi no gu sisa na eja na timi call for ma yetimi yi body no
na asam na say abo hu ana abo community no hu
oh asam ya nti ebomi hu pa na eja de yampe no ye nti no ontimi ya hwe mfa ho man yi
Okay, that's it. And see, so he is talking about what he saw, and when he got there, he couldn't have done anything. That was why he called the assembly member. So let's speak to this opinion leader here. They have been mobilizing the youth since yesterday to help in the clearing of the site. Eja, me mo akwaba the bar Channel 1 TV. So
Ja.
No, they see one who be paying.
You won't be that. I have cried, be crying for your home, cried me, who said, playing a baby, have a big crowd. We want to be a butcher mem, and be an abbies. I had you won't be that.
Now, Sassamina is saying, Abum who, and I said, a Sikan is saying, a Musifa Sassami.
Assembly, me tea and a crowd, and in fact, now having put them to be I did not see Quabraca much robe, baby cry. Me from by Nana, me tea say, I didn't see Yenia. Why by an answer as a Yenia and Timiaco, if you feel be and phone be banana, you know me not trust having you know. Into only a farquay, before Farco, and Chirna, or moody body neighbor, no may say Yenia phone, so you may good answer, and more money could go son.
Now, ne, Namusimu ye bibi, Eden Namuyen.
And a day I sank any bisha, and you fully bisha and anka, Yako, a manchamaco boy, no money. Into your one a charm so phrase say, from now 40 in Crabba say Yamra Fomra, and Tianianis command for me, a manchin fully a call from Nancy and a pay.
Now, no, must say, Mobian coniform, I didn't in a Mukasa.
And dear my case more Bianco who say, I didn't quite tofu. She says she's until one more for Ben or near Faquan Socrano, who quite I say, be to me as it is a young one, my grandson, or Marco Mufu.
So that's one of the opinion leaders in this community. He's talking about they have never seen something of this sort, a disaster of this magnitude. Sometimes they hear about some of these crashes, but it's outside of Ghana. And hearing this for the first time within this community is something they are still trying to come to terms with. And he is speaking about how they are also doing their part as traditional authorities here. They will have to go and inform the chief within the Adansi community so that to get that information to him what has happened.
We see a military truck behind you. Tell us about the military presence in the area.
Well, so, yesterday when the incident happened, unknowingly, some of the community members were picking the debris parts of the crash helicopter. So maybe they thought that they were helping in the clearing of the place. So later on, they were advised that they should leave all those things there. No one should pick anything, and ensure that the military or investigative team is there to do its assessment and its investigation before even anything can be touched. So yesterday they cooperated and complied with some of them, the instructions that were given by the security officers. But these military officers are still here because it involved a facility from the Ghana Armed Forces, and also it involved the defense minister and who they work under, and they are also here to ensure that investigative teams that will be coming here, they can access the site and people will not be going to the site to tamper with anything per instructions that have been given.
Very well. Hafiz, just stay on for us. We'll come back to you for some more updates from the community. But we'd like to go to Tamale in the northern region, the family home of squadron leader Peter Bafemi Anala, where my colleague Shawana Yusuf is currently stationed to gauge the mood in the family home as well. Shawana, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us about what is happening currently in the home of the late squadron leader.
Thank you so much, Nana. So this morning in the home of the late squadron leader, Peter Bafemi Anala. You can see mourners, family members, and well-wishers trooping in to wish the family well and to mourn with them over the unfortunate incidents that befell the family and the nation at large yesterday. So we have family members coming in. We have other co-workers, from the other family members also coming through to see how the funeral is going on, or how they are mourning the late Peter Bafemi and Nala. And Nana, we understand the late squadron is married with just a 2-month-old baby. And this is so sad. So with the family, it is a very hard moment for them. The place is quiet and people troop in here and there. This behind me is the family home of the late squadron leader. And yes, here at Jisonaili, we have people trooping in and out at the funeral home and the family home of the late squadron leader.
Right. Do we have any information on his parents, if they are still there in the family home, and how they are faring?
Nana, please come again.
I'm asking if we have information on his parents, that's if they're still alive and have received the unfortunate news, and how they are faring.
I spoke to the mother this morning, expressing my condolences on the unfortunate incident, but looking at her mood, she wasn't able to talk to me on the incident. And as bereaved as they are, I understand it's not all the time they would be able to talk, but they assure me that he has a senior brother who would be arriving soon, and they spoke to him already on phone. He's willing to talk to us in an interview. So immediately he arrives, I'm definitely going to get back to you and our cherished listeners out there, so they get to tell us how they received the unfortunate incident of news of the passing of the late squadron leader.
Very well, Shawana, thank you so much. We'll come back to you as and when you are ready with the senior brother of the late squadron leader. Extend our condolences to the family. We wish them strength in their time of grief. Well, so at least now we have an appreciation of the community, the Sikan community within the Damongo, Bofudu, Akrofom area. And also now we've seen and heard from Shawana from the home in Tamale of the late squadron leader. Clearly, it's a difficult time. But as I was asking earlier, we will definitely deploy men to report on how the families are faring. How should we, one, as the media, go about reporting on the death of these men? And two, how do we help the families in their time of grief to deal with the unfortunate tragedy?
Yeah, now the second person from the Tamale enclave, right?
Yeah.
So Tamale too.
Lost two.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about the other two people, the flying officer and then the
we do not know where they hail from, but we understand all three are with the Takrade Air Force Base.
Takrade Air Force, that's where most of the training and then takes place. Right. So how to deal with this? I think we must commend the role that the Sikan community played in all this. I mean, excellent job, human. Countless people have come out to say that they had the crash.
Yeah.
Then they dashed to the side, exactly responded, started making calls and so on. Some even attempted to do the rescue, but the fire was so much so that they couldn't do anything about it. Okay. And eventually when the authorities got there, see their level of participation, how they want to, I have to mention it though. Taking sacks to the, on top of the mountain and then, cutting the charred bodies, down, exactly, the remains. They are charred bodies. That to, downhill and then handing them over to the military and so on. Obviously, they are the people who I mean, yeah, exactly. Knew the place or know the place
they are
very well.
familiar with the
They are
terrain.
familiar with the terrain. It is their community.
Yeah.
But you see, it could be your house. But if you decided not to help, nobody, can tie you to anything.
Yeah.
But to have shown this level of quality, this humane, I think when all is said and done, the government will have to send a delegation to the place and thank them, the chiefs, opinion leaders, for what they have done for this. Now our human instincts also came in, and it's, well, you can't fault anybody. Those who took pictures or videos and then started spreading it.
Right.
Okay. And
well, Larry, just hold on for me. Let's go to the home of the late Alhaji Muniru Limuna in Damongo. Malik Ghazari is standing by to talk to us. Hello, Malik. Thank you for your time this morning. Paint us a picture of what's happening in the home of the late Deputy National Security Coordinator.
Yes, Nana, this morning, some family sympathizers are trooping in to sympathize with the bereaved family in Damongo. That's the family house of the late Deputy National Security Coordinator in charge of security, Chief Sandapeura Alaji Mohammed Muniru Limu family member. Currently, as behind me now, you can see elders and some religious leaders also sitting down, awaiting for the arrival of some other dignitaries to usher them to the family house. And just right beside me is a close confidant of Alaji Muniru. Whatever that you need, whatever information you need about the late chief and the late icon or political icon, when this personality or this person speaks, meaning is coming from the of the Deputy National Security Coordinator. It is Honorable Kiyu. So we would like to speak to find out how they received this shocking news, this sudden news. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah. Thanks for connecting me up. Channel.
We're having, Malik, we're having some difficulty hearing him. If he could speak up a bit.
That if you can speak up.
Yes, I couldn't believe it when I heard of this sudden news because that early morning of yesterday, he had spoke with me. He told me he was leaving for office. But I never had information that he would have been traveling out of the capital city. Indeed, the sudden news came, the whole Damongo and for Damongo moved down into tears because that figure that we have, sincerity and truthfulness are his hallmarks. Indeed, many of us describe him as the richest politician in Ghana, not in terms of monetary terms, but in terms of human development. They will just bring this news, posted news, when he was appointed as the acting Deputy National Security Coordinator in charge of human security and special projects. Everybody in Damongo and for that matter, Savannah region, said we have gotten a figure that will take away the pain of everybody. Unfortunately, just 2 weeks down the line, this is the sad news that has come. I personally, he has been role models for that. When you come to Damongo, he has helped the vulnerable, he has helped people to attain PhD, help people to attain, their degrees, diploma and whatever. We're just preparing how to celebrate his birthday on Friday. Unfortunately, he has a foundation called Kanauta Foundation. We have already sent letters to dignitaries, the vulnerable communities, and all those things. A review program that will be there live. Even the kingdom maker, that is the king and overlord of India tradition, Gerard Nito, would have been in attendance in honor of his birthday. That would have been an eighth of this ceremony. Unfortunately, we are broken down. Family is broken down, everybody is broken down because he's our hope.
We're still having some difficulties. He's not audible enough. So if you could reposition yourself and then get back to us so that we have a more clearer conversation with you. But that's Malik Ghazari speaking with a close confidant of the late Mohammed Muniru, who was, until his demise, Deputy National Security Coordinator. He hails from Damongo in the Savannah region. We hear he recently accepted Kola Nut to be as enskined chief. His outgoing was scheduled for somewhere 19th August. And this unfortunate incident has happened.
So many are your plans.
Yeah.
Okay. Many are your plans. So, I mean, you could decide that Omani, I keep talking about Omani. Omani, solid family man.
Yeah.
Very often you talking to him, he's telling you about how he had to help one of his children to do his or her homework.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Larry, hold on for me. I think Ghazari is repositioning himself now. Let's go back and hear from this confidant of the late Alhaji.
Yes. So Alhaji is one of a figure that have lived an excellent and extraordinary lifestyle. He has taken religion into politics. Sincerity and truthfulness are his hallmarks. So it's such a figure that we have a close confidant of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It wasn't even a position. He has consulted rules. He has rules. Indeed, a lot of things in terms of development for us. He has renovated centers. He has bought vehicles to commute our students from Langantry to Bushinu. He has helped the vulnerable in terms of food items, in terms of housing, in terms of clothing. And so it's a figure Ghana has lost. He's a man that always kept his eyes on the ball. Man that is full of dexterity and tenacity. The man that he's workaholic. He doesn't come out of work. Time you assign him work, he does it with simple supervision. So if we have lost as a figure, everybody is in shambles. We're in shambles. Our hope is gone. The youth are crying. He's the youth president. He's the hope of women. He's the hope of the vulnerable. The widows, the little children. How will they be doing? Who will not be their helper? And that is why we are crying. Other than that, we know Allah will grant him Jannah to Firdaus. There's no two ways about that because he has lived an excellent and extraordinary lifestyle. And so these are the marks. So we are down. We hope that arrangements are being made. They want to do autopsy and DNA tests with close relatives. So we are now waiting as and when His Excellency or the President will give the order and they'll bring the remains for us to bury. Dignitaries are trooping in. The whole town is mourning. Both sides of the political divide, the MPP, NDC, all members are crying because of the lifestyle he has lived. He's a unifier, a development agent, a father for many. For many, he's a candle and light forever. And so he has not lived in the family, but he has gone in us. The whole town is in shambles. So at this point in time, what we can do is to pray for him, that Allah accept him in his bosoms. And may he rest and rest in perfect peace. On this note, these are the few things. As and when the president issue a statement again on the barrier arrangements, then we'll give you the feedback. Thank you very much for the opportunity given. May he rest in peace.
Yes. Nana, this was the message from the close confidant of Alhaji, Chief Alhaji Sandape Mohammed Munir Limina.
Very well, Malik.
Nana?
Yes, go ahead. Wrap it up for me so that we can take over in the studio.
So this is just a brief message. The close confidant, who is in the person of QU, Zambachek QU, have just given to the public. Yesterday, we saw an announcement indicating that there will be a burial today. But later on, it was even signed by him. And later on, we had another communique, which indicated or which was instructed that the president has given indications that all families should withhold with burial, and which was also communicated the communication also came through him, through the public. So which means that he's more closer, he's more than someone who is more even related to the brief than any other person.
Very well. Very well, Malik. Malik, thank you so much. We'll come back to you later for some more updates from the home of the late Deputy National Security Coordinator, Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, in Damongo in the Savannah region.
So that's the Gonja
community.
So he has been a northern regional minister.
Then the regions were not created.
Oh, okay. Exactly.
So you used to have the northeast, the current northern region, and the Savannah region all being the northern region.
So again, you know, that same enclave that had to, endure this state of. You were saying that he was to be made skinned, yes. And I was saying that, well, many are plans. I mean, I'm sure Omani or Mutala would have scheduled a meeting, after this program, and that he was coming, meet me in the office around 4, around 5, or even around 6. But hey, that meeting couldn't come on. It's been cut short. That's it. Now, on the thing about the media and so on, now we are in a very interesting times of our journalism career, where, people, there's what I call, or what is called, the citizen journalist. Okay, so as soon as the grace of phone and then the grace of internet. So as soon as the thing happens, you want to take it and then record it. You want to be the first to break the news. Okay, and so video is taken and then it's posted on various social media, platforms, Facebook, Twitter, or X, and it's all over the place.
Now they are even going live now.
They are going live, exactly. And so by the time where you, the trained mind, who have gone through all manner of, rudiment as to what you can put out now, because there are, people's sensibilities is at stake. I mean, he is already reporting. And strangely, you, the professional, or, nobody is even looking your way when you say that, hey, Muntu Mungwase. And you are competing. Sometimes there's mislabeling. There's one of the calls that I had was that, Bua was part of it. They mentioned Muntaka. Then they mentioned a lot. So they mentioned about 7 ministers who were involved, or supposedly. But by the close of the day, it became clear that it was rather just 2 ministers and then some other officials who had gone through this. Now, the family would have to live within the times that we are in, because even if they said that they are not going to watch TV or listen to radio or even read the newspapers, they have phones.
Indeed.
They are on WhatsApp. They themselves also have access to, some of these social media platforms. And so it's the times that we live in. You only have to strengthen yourself or brace up for issues like this. That has come. It's happened. Maybe the government would want to put in place a certain arrangement where you could have clinical psychologists talking to these people on how to bear this. I mean, we witnessed the killing of Major Mahama, and how videos of that, made the news or the headlines even before the family was informed by the military. We saw the body again, charred bodies, and so on. And so it's something we have to live with. But when it happens, the state is supposed to be a mother and a father, quickly walking and take charge of whatever it is. Deploy experts who can talk to these people, on how to deal with the pain, how to deal with the loss, and thereafter. And I must commend the health or the government when they went quickly and then picked Omani's mother, from
the midst of all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure he might have told them about how important the mother, is to him. And so quickly moving her from there, taking care of her, taking her for medical, whatever it is, was commendable. Can we do that to others? What's his name? Anala. I hear recently married and then has a 2 months baby.
He has recently had a child, but I think it's Sergeant Adomensa who recently got married.
Well, you see, you just married and then the next moment your husband is gone. Who else?
Then there's Mutala Mohammed.
Yeah.
And then we're working
An
to
auntie
get
of mine called me yesterday and said, beautiful wife, and that she can relate to her
so
pain.
There's a video of the Ernest Adomensa, the sergeant.
Wow.
That's a video from his wedding.
Very
young chap. So the wife was devastated at this point.
And not just the wife, the family. And
as
we
well.
commend Pastor Mensa Otabel as well. Using his platform, his platform for
the tributes have been pouring in from the international community. The former presidents still living. Minority, majority caucuses, the speaker himself representing the House. The clergy, we've heard from the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic
the UN body,
the UN body,
various countries,
ECOWAS, AU, and then the various presidents of our sister nations as well. It's one that will appeal to the emotions of everyone that hears it. It's quite a difficult one. I must say at this point that we're also working to get a team to the home of the former parliamentary candidate for Boise East, who was also part of it. Yesterday we touched base in the home of Doc Samuel Sapong. Difficult and terrible moment in the family home. And you could see how people were struggling to accept or to believe the news of the person. But an institution that will also be hardest hit is the Ghana Armed Forces at this point.
See, it takes a lot to train pilots. It takes a lot, it takes a lot to train pilots. So very often, that's why when you touch a soldier, the whole institution comes at you. You get it. Not just pilots, but a lot others. So there will be hard hits in terms of personnel. There will be hard hit in terms of logistics. There's an issue somewhere. You need an aircraft to just carry, people there quickly to deal with the situation and get back. Now you don't have. One is down. You lost men as well. What would you do? Would you go by road? And then the time, okay? But I think this discussion we've had is bereft of the mining, the Galamsey thing, and how many lives we have to lose
to Galamsey until we decide to take the action, the decisive action.
Thing. The Galamsey thing, no, it's Galamsey that took them down.
They were heading to Obuasi to launch a responsible mining initiative.
It's Galamsey. When you read Omane's last speech, the government accountability series, apart from talking about the retooling, he also made mention about how the military will be deployed in the Galamsey fight. Galamsey, Major Mahama. Galamsey, John, the guy who used to work with, is it Oredu? John Oredu, Anglo Gold Ashanti, who was crushed to death by one of their cars. Galamsey. Who else? How many pits haven't swallowed? People. Meanwhile, the talk has been about responsible mining, the pollution of our water bodies, the degradation, of our forests, and so on and so forth. Galamsey is now taking down 2 ministers, you know, 2 former ministers, you know, and not more official. Yeah, exactly. Not more pilots. Officers. Can you imagine? What else, bro?
Yeah. I mean, before we wrap this up, I need you to touch on emergency response services to some of these issues. A post from Dr. Mwakuhene, the Ashanti Regional Minister, says they had to walk about 1,000 feet up the Dampayao mountain, 2 hours drive from Obuasi, where they were scheduled to have the event. And that walk up the mountain was about 1 hour, 30 minutes. In an area with such a topography, how difficult would it have been for rescue, a rescue mission?
It is like that the world over. It's not just in Ghana alone. Recently, if you monitor international news, some children got lost in some caves.
Yeah.
They had to take a while to rescue them.
Yeah.
It depends on the natural nature of the place.
Yeah.
And this is a reserved forest. If you listen to the local accounts, apart from some designated areas, it is not an area easily accessible. They don't allow people to go there. And if you know that area of Adansi, it's mountainous.
Yeah, very mountainous.
Very mountainous area. So for me, I think our emergency response is weak. We've been doing our best, government upon government, to you know, help beef it up. But civil education is very, very important. Like you asked Larry to discuss on the reportage.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Communication yesterday issued a statement out, which I think it's part of civic education. You know, the craze where today a matter breaks and everybody wants to have the scoop, as journalists you say. You know, I want to be the first to report. People pull out their cameras and now you find many and it's not only in Ghana. It has become a craze because of the digital, you know, age we're in. But from time to time, we all have to learn. We need to educate ourselves that certain. So you realize that, like Larry said, when mainstream media, not new media, main traditional is about speaking on the subject, they often give some precautionary statements that viewers' discretion is advised. And this advice goes to all of us, so that even when you want to break the news, it is healthy, but be measured of the gory nature of whatever you are trying to report to us is. Some of it is something that we need to know. It's all part of rapid response. The fact that you're sharing news, first and foremost, is to save lives is important. How you do it is very critical.
You need to be responsible.
You know, I along the line when we're having a conversation, I restrained myself because I just reminded myself that, hey, what if the wife is seated with some people at a guest and they may have kids, and the kids are on vacation now and they are watching television and their channel is on channel 1 and we are discussing this and they are also having, you know, a traditional conversation. You are hurting lives. It's a very sensitive matter. So when the president asks us to mourn for 3 days, I support him, and I support your channel as well. Channel 1, you are giving us good reportage. I mean, sending your reporters to various homes, not just to politically exposed persons in high office, but to every person and every member of the crew. This is a national tragedy.
Indeed.
And we believe that our prayers are going to be with everybody, and I pray that it doesn't happen to Ghana again. You know, when you recounted the number of times we've had this tragedy, we lost seven. Now we're losing 8. In times past, it could be 1 or 2. Some crash landing. Those ones, it affects the machines. We'll go and repair the machines and we'll come back. What I will end up with my rapid response is what Larry mentioned about training. We have to continuously build capacity of our men who are and officers who are in the Ghana Armed Forces, manning all our, you know, equipment. Those who are flying, those who are sailing, and those who are on infantry and on ground. Likewise, other security services. This is today in the Ghana Armed Forces. You talked about rapid response. For instance, get Ghana National Fire Service. I know that they need a lot of fire tenders to help us because our country is growing. You know, when fire service was set up, our country wasn't beyond 20 million, population. Today we're over 30 million, hoping to get to somewhere 40 million. So we keep growing. So rapid response is something that this country needs heavily. I mean, Ghana Immigration Service needs to be strengthened because some of these areas, you know, we have imaginary borders as nation states. And so sometimes when people talk about 1,001 unauthorized routes that crisscross with our neighbors and come back. And so these are some of the things that we have to focus on. I mean, ambulance services is something that we need. We need infrastructure to ensure that if even you send a vehicle to the community, is it traveling on, if granted, if we were fortunate to have had one to be saved, do we have, you know, the response team to be able to put up, you know, sustainable and resuscitating equipment to ensure that a person who is in acute, you know, accident state and suffering from some fractures, if we could salvage them as is done elsewhere. So these are things that we need to focus on and invest in them. Thank you.
A final one from Larry before we go.
Quickly, you know, talking about retooling of the military, we also have to take into cognizance the fact that there's been one too many helicopter crashes in this country. I mean, at the last count, you counted about 5 or so, or 4.
4.
Okay. I mean, for how many more do we have to experience before we appreciate that there's an issue? Okay. And so the investigators would have to do a thorough job and then to assure us that, I mean, reporters are put on some of these aircraft and taken around. Ministers or former ministers or parliamentarians are put on some of this, you know, and taken to a particular destination, a funeral, you know, an event and so on. So the Air Force, you know, fleet has become part and parcel of the civil life. You understand? And so we can't just assume that everything is okay and then we leave it like that. Okay? 3 things would have occurred. Either it's a mechanical fault, as in there was no proper checks ahead of the flying, okay? Or it was a human error on the part of the pilot or the pilots or the crew. Or, you know, I mean, natural cause, the weather.
The weather.
So, I mean, whatever it is, some of these things shouldn't be confidential. Just put it out there. Let everybody know about it. So that when you are like when the driver is speeding too much, you can tell him that, oh, honorable, we will speed now,
too much.
Yeah, too much. We should know what it is, please.
No, but just to put on to Larry, it is not everything we can put into the public domain. You know, we're a sovereign state.
Yes.
And some, by security practice, some of our equipments, we cannot just showcase them. Because it weakens us.
Even me, I can tell you about the state of Ghana's...
No, it is not. Thank you so much. Wait a minute. It's not just, Larry, it's not just giving you, because of your skill and because of your trade. You have relationship with people within.
I need to go to the home of squadron leader.
Thank you.
Anala. We understand the brother is available to talk to us now. Shawana, thank you once again. Kindly engage the brother of the late squadron and let us know how the family is faring after hearing this unfortunate news.
Okay, so good morning, sir. Can you please tell us your name?
My name is Marshall Anala. I'm a senior brother to Peter. In fact, we live together in Accra, in the Station residence in Accra. I was in Tamale over the past few weeks, and unfortunate incident yesterday after we had a communication in the morning to discuss his plans for the day, and also we updated each other on other things that he is doing. I was to get in touch with him around 10:30, and as at that time, exactly 10:30, I sent him a message. It didn't deliver. And then some few minutes later, hours later, around 1, I had a call from his close friend if I've heard from him, because we have been very close. So unfortunately, I didn't hear. And that was when I started getting the breaking news of the incident.
Breaking news. Did you get them from his office or from any government official? How did you officially get the message of the fact?
Interestingly, his colleagues at the office were trying to get in touch to find out if we've heard of him, because they were not getting any, they couldn't track him, they couldn't get him on radar. And so it was becoming a bit difficult and worrisome because of the nature of the business. But we got the final confirmation through the media when we started seeing pictures of the wreckage and the burning. It wasn't good. It was, and that's where we find ourselves now. In fact, you get to see things on the media faster than even you could imagine.
What would you remember the late squadron leader Anala for?
He's very industrious. Funny enough, he's our last born, the family last born, and he's known very early because I live with him. Early morning at 5 a.m. He takes his morning jog and say his rosary prayers every morning, because we normally have prayers in the morning. So he takes his morning jog while saying his rosary prayers as Catholics. What I remember very well is he likes Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He's always loved that. And at this moment in time, I think he will be resting, even though it hurts us and it's uncomfortable, but we understand very well that it is the Lord's doing. We are only hoping to find closure to this, to see how things turn out to be, and we'll see how we are able to handle that.
What does this loss mean to the family?
It's a big loss. We are a big family. The Anala family is a big family, and he being the last born of the family, it's really difficult. We lost our brother on the 20th of June, who was a Catholic priest. And interestingly, he was the one who was able to represent us in the US for the burial. In fact, we've not done the funeral rites. He was able to represent us with our firstborn. So the first and last, I kept making fun of the fact that first and last. And even our firstborn, Letitia, is not yet back from the US and will be coming within this week. Maybe by tomorrow she should be in Ghana. It has been very tragic, because in June, in May, he went to visit his wife in the UK, and then around in 10th of June, she had delivered a baby girl. In fact, the christening has not yet been done. It's really tragic. The baby is barely 2 months old, and in fact, the wife is alone in the UK. We are trying to see how we will get around.
Talk of the wife and the baby. How is she receiving this unfortunate news?
It's really difficult. They got married on the 28th of April, on my birthday, 2022. So it was very symbolic for me. And they have been away from each other since he has been in Ghana and she's in the UK, and he visits. So the last visit was around, the last time they really met was around the 15th of June. And he was planning to go back for the christening of the baby. And unfortunately, this happened. It has not been easy. In fact, she's not able to talk. And looking at the UK system where friends and family cannot sit with you, it's really difficult. She has a few friends who are trying to keep up with her. And then we are seeing how we are able to coordinate to get her to really take things through, especially with regards to the baby.
We are praying with the family during this difficult moment. But finally, before you go, are you able to tell us if there's been any plans of funeral burial arrangements that the family is putting in place?
At this point, we will say the military high command was here yesterday to commensurate with us. I believe the plans to be done in Accra because it was on a state assignment. We are only hoping we get enough information and enough arrangements to be there to represent our brother in the right way. For now, I would say we really are not clear about, since it just happened yesterday, we have other brothers who are moving to Accra to address some of these issues. And also, we are here in Tamale to see to it that we are able to plan alongside, see how things are done.
Right, mothers and how close they can be to their children. Is mommy fine? Are this very difficult?
Mommy can't be fine. As I said, he's the last born, so it's really difficult. It has been very difficult. It hasn't been easy. I can't speak for her. With me, in fact, my dad died in 2001. I never wept. Yesterday, I was in the bank when I heard it. I wept. It was not easy. Thankfully, in fact, I didn't even know where I left the money because the bank workers who helped to do the payment and other things. You see, in times like this, when people help, it's really helpful. Yeah, especially ADB bank at Calandan area. They were really helpful to me because I really broke down, and they were able to support me in that process.
Very well, Shauna.
Yeah.
Yes, Nana.
Shauna, well, thank you, and thank you. Our condolences to the family. Wish them strength for us. We'll come back to you again for some more updates.
Thank you very much, Nana. So thank you so much, Mr. Nana, for your time.
Thank you.
Very well, quite understandably so. A difficult time for the families of the deceased who are currently in grief, mourning the passing of their dear relatives. I want to say thank you to Larry Dogbe and thank you to Seth Champong for agreeing to speak to us this morning, although they are all hit in different ways by the unfortunate news. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 Television. Stay with us. We have more on the show for you.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you bank like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
This August, get ready for an unforgettable night of worship and celebration as Perez Music presents Glorified, dubbed His Love and Kindness. Ministering live, Perez Music alongside the legendary Daughters of Glorious Jesus. Also ministering Joyful Way Incorporated, Minister Gabi Akwe and Edom Evangelist. Join us on Sunday, the 31st of August, 2025 at 4 p.m. sharp at the Victory Bible Church, Awoshi Dominion Sanctuary for for an evening of powerful ministry and praise. It's absolutely free. But if you would like to support this ministry, you can do so by purchasing our special event merchandise or call 0557 116 607. That is 0557 116 607. Let's come together and raise a sound of gratitude for God's love and kindness. It's going to be nothing short of heaven on earth. This event is proudly sponsored by Eddie Spitzer and powered by Rima City of Worship.
Drowning in deadlines, data running wild. Let's fix this together. Join the evolution. Join the sharpest minds in HR at the HR Connect Conference 2025 on August 8 at the Marvin Peak Hotel, Accra, under the theme Empowering HR Excellence, Leveraging Data, Resilience, and Wellness for a Thriving Workplace. It's not just another conference. It's strategy, tech, wellness, and a few smart laughs too. Panels, keynotes, real talk, and real solutions. Let's lead, connect, and transform the way we work. For further inquiries and bookings, please call on 0541 222 365 to secure your seat. HR Connect Conference 2025. Lead, connect, transform.
Ghana, get ready! The biggest sales event of the year is back. National Sales Leaders Conference 2025. Organized by Core Event Solutions, powered by MGA Consulting, and proudly supported by Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana and Association of Ghana Industries. Happening on August 19th to 21st at the Accra International Conference Center. The special guest of honor for this big event is the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah. Join over 2,000 participants including CEOs, Managing Directors, Sales and Marketing Heads, among others, for 3 unforgettable days of insights and high-level networking with 68 seasoned speakers tackling 25 impactful topics across various industries. This is the one event you can't afford to miss. Reserve your seats now. Visit www.nslcaccra.org or call 0502 711 070 to secure your ticket. NSLC 2025, redefining sales excellence for a dynamic market.
This August, get ready for an unforgettable night of worship and celebration as Perez Music presents Glorified, dubbed His Love and Kindness. Ministering live, Perez Music alongside the legendary Daughters of Glorious Jesus. Also ministering Joyful Way Incorporated, Minister Gabi Akwe and Edom Evangelist. Join us on Sunday, the 31st of August, 2025 at 4 p.m. sharp at the Victory Bible Church, Awoshi Dominion Sanctuary for an evening of powerful ministry and praise. It's absolutely free. But if you would like to support this ministry, you can do so by purchasing our special event merchandise or call 0557 116 607. That is 0557 116 607. Let's come together and raise a sound of gratitude for God's love and kindness. It's going to be nothing short of heaven on earth. This event is proudly sponsored by Eddie Spitzer and powered by Rima City of Worship.
Play away.
morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's still Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. And as you all know, Nana Tufo Boateng actually started the show. And now we are taking you from now till 11 a.m. Remember that the show is interactive, so feel free to send in your messages at any time via the WhatsApp number on the screen. My name is Chris Carter.
I am Philip Nilate. It's just a sad moment, a sad day that the country is grieving. Family members are grieving. But we are saying that may the gentle soul of the departed rest in perfect peace. If you just joined us, just a little reminder, this is your day. This is Ghana exhibition is still on. If you haven't called to make payment or to register yet, please do so because it's a very important event. This is Ghana exhibition brings together all the made in Ghana products that we know at one venue. This period is happening at the Ifwa Sunderland Park from 6th to 7th September 2025. And at this particular event, you'd get to see what a lot of the things you would ordinarily see on the market and also produce made in Ghana produce and all that. So that's projected on the screen. You can call 0205 973 973 for registration. We are also asking that if you call for registration, make sure that you make the payment, which is very important so that you can secure your slot.
All right. And the level 2 of the literacy challenge is in the corner, and that's happening this Saturday, 9th August 2025 at the British Council here in Accra. Starting at 12 noon, but you have to be there before 12, obviously. And this actually goes out to all the top 50 contestants that we actually announced on Monday on TV, on radio, and also on all our platforms. So these contestants are coming from across Ghana to make it to the next round of the literacy challenge, which is the aptitude test. And it's going to be a written aptitude test. So to all parents and to all guardians of anyone that is part of the 50 contestants, the aptitude test is this Saturday. So do well to be at the British Council this Saturday before 12 noon because it starts exactly at 12. Anyway, thank you to our sponsors, Bell, Moo, and GB Assessment. Remember that this is brought to you by Channel 1 TV and City 97.3 FM.
Again, because you need information and you have to be abreast with what is happening around you, we are asking you to have the Channel 1 News app on your phone. It's in Google Play Store. You go to this Google Play Store and you would download the app, the Channel 1 News app, so you can be well informed of what is happening around you. It's very important that as you go about your day-to-day activities, you get up to speed information, which is going to help you as an individual out there and also as a consumer of news, information, entertainment, and what have you. Make sure that you download the Channel 1 News app from the Google Play Store and again, get informed. Chris, this is a sad moment. We are all sharing here. Channel 1 TV, City FM, the entire country. Yesterday, when the news broke of the demise of some 8 gallant men who were in their line of duty, and just we heard the news. It was a very sad one. We just didn't want to believe until the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, came to disclose or break the news to the entire nation, which is shocking. You can see on the screen there Dr. Omane Boama, who has been at the forefront of the 2024 elections at the AC office, the director of IT and also elections, went through the entire process for the win of the 2024 elections for the National Democratic Congress. His picture is being displayed there as being part of the individuals who passed on yesterday. He is a respected medical doctor and politician. Dr. Omane Boama was recently appointed the defense minister. His death is actually a huge loss to the nation. Before we read some of the tweets and also of the tributes that are pouring in,
Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. He is the Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation. Dr. Mutala Mohammed was a Member of Parliament for Tamale Central and a former Deputy Minister. He was widely known for his long voice in Parliament and a dedication to national development. And of course, if you know Mutala very well, you know that he is very vocal when it comes to issues of national development, and on the floor of Parliament, he is very vocal there. Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, also passed on yesterday. A senior figure in Ghana's security leadership, Alhaji Muniru played a critical role in coordinating national intelligence and safety efforts. Also, part of the people who passed on yesterday, Dr. Samuel Sapon, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress. Dr. Sapon was a former regional minister and recently served as a presidential staffer. He was known for his commitment to grassroots development. Mr. Samuel Abuaje, former parliamentary candidate, a respected political figure and former candidate. Mr. Abuaji also served in various government roles in past administration. Squadron leader Peter Anala, whose brother Shawana Yusuf spoke to shortly before we came on air, indicating that the squadron leader Anala was actually the last born of the family, and not long ago they buried the first child of the family. So this is a very big loss to the family. He is a decorated Ghana Air Force pilot with years of experience in military aviation. He was a captain of the crash helicopter, and that was a very sad one. And flying officer Chum Ampedu, also co-pilot, a young and promising officer in Ghana Armed Forces who served with dedication. And finally, but not least, is the Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. He's a flight engineer. He's a technical expert and member of the crew. He was responsible for onboard system and safety. So that's what we have for you. The 8 whose lives were cut short in that helicopter crash there yesterday, a very sad one. We'll be reading the tributes that are pouring in, and also the comments from neighboring countries, and also neighboring countries, and a whole lot of ECOWAS also bringing theirs in, commiserating with the families, sharing in their condolences and all that. But Sam George yesterday wrote this interesting bit on social media to Dr. Omane Boama, where he said that, where do I start? To whom do I turn? Everyone else is distraught and in despair. How does such tragedy befall a man so calm and warm? How do you leave me and the squad like this? The tears flow even when I try to compose myself. Composure is a distant reality for me, as the pain I feel cannot be expressed fully. Kofi, why? How? This is not what we agreed. You always asked me who would take care of my mom, of your mom, if anything were to happen to you. What did you know that you had from me? Rita and the kids, who can be there for them like you? Oh, why? No one has been of greater help or support to me in my political career. I call you boss and you call me bro. You didn't just care about my politics. You cared and loved my family. You chose the school for my kids and even asked me every term about their performance. You were not a colleague. You were the elder brother I didn't have. You would call me and admonish me when you saw a social media post of mine. Who would guide me now? You have been my compass and guiding light. Just to take this one again. I missed the paragraph there. Okay. You would call me. Okay, so down there it says that let me take this one. You would call me and admonish me when you saw a social media post. Who would guide me now? You have been my compass and guiding light these past 7 months since I was appointed minister, preparing me for cabinet and showing me the ropes. Who do I turn to now? My faith is shaken, my belief is gone, and we are told to give thanks in all things. How can I give thanks in this? How do I say it's well? It is certainly not well. I've asked questions to God, very serious questions. How does this happen? Kofi Omaniboama, wake up and tell me to activate all body cameras. Call me and say, Jata, you have done your thing again. Just speak your call, boss. Please. This is what Sam George, the communications minister, wrote on social media yesterday when the news broke. Maybe in the course of the show, we'll go back to our correspondents and find out from them if there are latest from the family house or the family homes of the departed. And also, we'll bring you what is happening across the country. Chris, we have a number of the statements coming from the political parties and also from figures within the country, institutions and countries nearby.
Right. So we have some. Well, it's quite unfortunate, and it's actually very heavy, especially knowing that these people were not just only serving the country, but they were fathers, they were husbands, they're somebody's brother, they're somebody's best friend, and it's very hard to deal with at this point in time. And my heart goes out to each and everyone affected and to all Ghanaians. But let us check out some messages from, neighboring countries and also international bodies. I'm going to be starting with the U.S. Embassy to Ghana. So the USA Department of State Bureau of African Affairs actually put out a message there. The United States expresses its condolence to President John Dramani Mahama and the people and the government of Ghana on the 8 tragic deaths in today's helicopter crash. We are united in prayer for the families of the victims and the people of Ghana. Tammy Bruce, who's the spokesperson of the U.S. Department of State. We also have one that was sent via, I think, Facebook by Kenyan President William Samoei Ruto. We extend our condolences to His Excellency President John Mahama and the government, the people of Ghana, and the bereaved family following a tragic helicopter crash that killed 8 people, including 2 ministers. We stand in solidarity with Ghana in mourning this profound loss and offer thoughts and prayers during these times of sorrow. Rest in peace. And one from Nigeria, President Tinubu condoles with President of Ghana on tragic air accident. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu extends his deepest condolences to President John Mahama, the government and the people of Ghana, following the helicopter crash that claimed the lives of Defense Minister Edward Omani Boamah and Environment Minister Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed and 6 others. President Tinubu assures President Mahama and all Ghanaians that the thoughts and prayers of the government and people of Nigeria are with them during this time of profound national loss. The president urges the Ghanaian nation and the bereaved family and friends to find comfort in the knowledge that their loved ones died in the line of patriotic service to the country. He prays for the peaceful repose of the souls of the departed and strength of those left behind. We also have one from the United Nations office here in Ghana. The statement, mourning of the Ghana Air Force helicopter tragedy. It is with profound sorrow that we receive the tragic news of the fatal crash involving the Ghana Air Force Z-9 helicopter claiming the lives of distinguished governments of Ghana officials, including the Honorable Minister of Defense, Dr. Edward Kofi Omani-Boamah, and the Honorable Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. The United Nations family in Ghana mourns with the nation in this moment of deep grief. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family and to the government and the people of Ghana as we together face this painful loss. This tragedy is not only a national wound, but also a loss felt across the international community. We stand at this time of mourning. We honor the memory of all those who have passed with hope for their lasting peace. And also the New Patriotic Party actually put out a communique yesterday. The New Patriotic Party devastated by the tragic death of 8 persons in military helicopter crash. The New Patriotic Party is reeling the sorrow and grief following the tragic crash of the military helicopter that claimed the lives of all 8 persons on board. Their passing is not only a devastating blow to the families, but also profound loss to the entire nation, the work to protect and build. We extend our deepest and most heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. No words can truly capture the anguish of this moment. We pray that the Almighty God grants them comfort and strength during the excruciating, difficult period. We call for a thorough, transparent, and swift investigation into the cause of the crash. The dignity of all of the lives lost demands answers and accountability to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. In this time of grief, we call all Ghanaians to come together in unity, prayer, and compassion. Let us stand with the families left behind. Let us console and strengthen one another. May the souls of these 8 heroes rest in perfect peace until the last day of the resurrection, when we shall meet again. Signed, Justin Kudwa Frimpong, who's the General Secretary.
Okay, so we just got that the President of France has also extended or expressed his condolences or shared his condolences. It reads, our thoughts are with the people of Ghana following the tragic loss of the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Environment, and the other passengers in a terrible helicopter accident yesterday. We extend our full support to their families and loved ones. Anyway, so yesterday it was a very sad one. The Chief of Staff stood in front of the entire population that is Ghanaians through our medium, televisions, radio, and all that, and announced the sad news. Let's bring you a playback of that.
I have the unpleasant duty, sadly, to announce a national tragedy involving the crash of a military helicopter this morning around the Adansi area in Ashanti region. Government regrets to announce the demise of the following persons in the tragic crash: Dr. Edward Kofi Omani-Boamah, Minister for Defense; Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, MP, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology; Alhaji Muniru Mohammed Lemuna, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Minister for Food and Agriculture; Dr. Samuel Sapon, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress; and Mr. Samuel Abuaji, a former parliamentary candidate; Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Manin Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. The President and government extends our condolences and sympathies to the families of our comrades and the servicemen who died in service to the country. All flags are to fly at half-mast until further notice. Thank you.
So this is a very sad one. The Chief of Staff's presser we just saw, and also addressing the nation in that regard yesterday, when the sad news was given to the entire country, and this is a very sad one that we all couldn't come to terms with. But yesterday in the evening, the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, led a high-powered government delegation to receive the remains of the Defense Minister, Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah, the Environment Minister, Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Muhammad, and the 6 others who tragically perished in the military helicopter crash yesterday. The solemn ceremony took place at the Air Force Base in Accra, where the bodies were flown in from the crash scene in the Adansi Akrofrom district amid heavy military presence and a national mourning. It was a very sad one when we were watching on TV yesterday, and standing alongside were senior military officers and state dignitaries. Mr. Debra received the coffins in the national flag as prayers were offered to the repose of the souls of the deceased. The atmosphere was heavy with grief as Ghana paid tribute to 8 public servants and service members who lost their lives in the line of duty. Chris, yesterday when I heard the news, I just couldn't come to terms with it. I can say for a fact that I hadn't slept.
No one has slept, actually.
Yeah.
No one has slept.
Yeah.
Because in as much as you might say, okay, I don't, some might say, I don't know these people.
Yeah.
But when you hear, about it, you are definitely going to be hit because you're a human being. Humanity first. And apart from humanity first, these are people that were serving the country. And also, like I said earlier, that these are not just only servicemen, doing, work for the country, but they are also people's fathers, brothers, friends, someone's son. So it is heavy. It is really heavy. The atmosphere is not just heavy here in Channel 1, but I feel like the whole country feels it. Anywhere you go, everyone is sad. Notwithstanding the political party that you are representing, this is the first time that I've seen, Ghanaians come together to say, you know what, let's put all that aside.
Our differences aside.
Let's put our differences aside, because it can happen to anyone. You understand? When death comes, it does not ask you what color of party you're representing. So, yes, I really like the fact that everyone, came together, and also for the fact that former President John Ejekum Kufuor also, put out there that this is a time for national unity. You understand?
Yeah.
After also wishing the family his condolence, he also had to remind everyone that, the entire nation have to come together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's a very sad one. So yesterday, when the receiving of the bodies was happening, the ceremony, the government delegation comprised of senior military officers, ministers of state, party executives, members of the clergy, all of whom gathered to pay their final respect. And among the dignitaries were the education minister, Haruna Idris, who yesterday the media engaged to tell us the mood of the president, which he did. Also was the National Democratic Congress's General Secretary, Fifi Fiavikwete. And when the news was broke, you could tell from his face it was a very sad moment. Muntaka, who is the Interior Minister, was weeping and all that. Also at the same event was the Government Communications Minister, Felix Kwachi Ofosu. Among the victims were 2 cabinet ministers, and that is what has really put the country in a state of shock. Dr. Omane-Boamah and Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Muhammad. These 2 individuals we know were playing their role very well. And another problem or another issue that people are also raising is that just a few months into the new administration, And Dr. Ibrahim Mutala was actually looking at changing a number of things within the environment space, because they were going to Obuasi to help people that understand responsible mining, the fight against illegal mining. That is what they were trying to push out there. Ordinarily, it was billed that the president was supposed to go for this event, coupled with a lands minister who was already at the event. The president couldn't make it. So at this event, there was actually a video that came out where the Ashanti regional minister broke the news to the lands minister, and you could tell the shock he had. He just couldn't come to terms with it. But we will speak to our correspondent, our Ashanti regional correspondent, Hafiz Tijani, who is in the area, to bring us up to speed what is happening and what is the latest concerning this development. Hafiz, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Philip.
Okay, Hafiz, let's understand what is the latest happening at the scene where the incident happened.
All right, so in the background, you can see some military officers and a team of investigators from the Ghana Air Force who have arrived here some minutes ago, and they are preparing to go uphill where the incident happened. So you can see the team in shots. We are told we have officers from the Ghana Air Force, and these are some of the pilots who also operate within that space, who are coming to join the military officers here. They are going to the crash site to do their own assessment of the place. You know, the military officers were maintained here because they wanted to protect the site, and that the debris of the plane parts that were scattered all over the place are not touched, so that when they come, they will have ample time to do their investigations and get the information. But quickly, let me speak to the assembly member for this community. He's going to join the team. He has put on his attire and is joining the team. Just 1 minute, assembly member. I'm call the back channel 1 TV. So, Mokohono no say more information. Say person obian ko site need to sign.
Oh, she me no ka say the site no dey boko. Nti afini any team no ekọ akọhwe dey bitumi ayafa on information omo pe no e dey ma omo e dey akọ.
No say mo ya announcement say mo obian ko fom no anapa e dey na ekọ.
Oh, anapa e obia emfa sa akọ no so o mati na so pam. Say the mpanifo no epeso mo yema omo no oman no agye atum say omo so say the ade na si ne arehu nti sempre fa ka nyem so mo nkwa omo so eti na so pam ti anapa yi be si sabre ya me no ka say obia emfa akọ no so.
Say na mo se be boa team na abaya am ko investigation si.
Oh, and what we want said, dear, omo pefri and champion, I said, at the moment, until me no can say, and me call her by 10 o'clock, 10:30 ho. Me free her by 6:30. And a parents we are trade me in so team number, me sign on Marco, or Pim say, the omo pen must have a can sana. Yes, so Yahomeka.
Okay, that's it. Honorable. Good luck. So that's the assembly member for the. That's the assembly member for the Sikan electoral area or the Sikan community. He is joining the team of investigators who are going to the crash site, and they say they are ready. He's leading them because he knows this area very well. There was also one of the eyewitnesses, one of the farmers in this community who also witnessed the incident. He is also joining the team. Other military officers were part of the contingent that were deployed yesterday to the site when the incident happened. They are also going to be leading them, and you can see that they have changed into their attire and they have put on their Wellington boots, because going into the forest is not an easy journey, because yesterday we trekked for about 2 hours before getting to the crash site. So the officers who came yesterday at least gave them some briefing, and they came prepared and going to this community. So that is the latest as far as this incident is concerned. The officers, investigators are from Accra. They arrived here this morning and they are going to the site. You can see the kind of briefing that is being done in the background to get the preparations done very well. And the locals say, you heard from the assembly member for the community, he says they are going to give them all the support they need. They made some announcement and told the community members that all farmers are not supposed to be at their farms today. And the inhabitants have complied with this. They are saying that they are going to cooperate with whatever agency is coming in to do investigations as far as this incident is concerned. But per the briefing of the or per the procedure of the Ghana Air Force and the Ghana Armed Forces, they are not supposed to speak to the media. So we are here just putting our ears on the ground, gathering some of the information from the community members, from the opinion leaders, and also from sources within the forces, just to get more information, at least to feed our viewers. So, Philip, that is what is happening so far. But when you come to the Sikan community, they are still trying to recall the incident, how they had it, what happened till this time.
Hafiz, I want us to help us understand this trekking of 2 hours to where the incident happened. Is it that a path was created yesterday to where the incident happened, or there was an existing path to the incident grounds?
Yeah, so it's just a path. It's a path that people use daily to their farms, but it's not so smooth. It's very rough. It's undulating. You have to ascend, descend before you get there. At a point, while walking, you have to hold some of the branches of the trees just to get some form of support. So because it's drizzled yesterday, the area was a bit slippery, so people had to be careful. So you have to go in there. If you are a first timer, you might not know the kind of dressing you would put on, or the kind of footwear you are going to put on to embark on that. So in the shot, you can see the team. They have begun the journey, moving through. So that is the entry point of the main forest. So you can see some of the community members who are going to support the journey as they just began the journey, moving forward to the entry point. The assembly member, some of the locals are also aiding because they know the community very well. These are officers, team of investigators who have just come from Accra. They don't know this terrain, and these people will have to lead them. We have other military officers, and you can see bottles of water they held. So yesterday we didn't know about the journey, so we didn't make this arrangement. But like I said, because they have had briefing from some of their colleagues, then they are able to prepare. They have gone with some bottles of water because the journey is not going to be an easy one, and they have begun the journey going into the forest, then to assess the crash site. And they're in a very mountainous area and very hilly path going through the area. So in short, you can see them just moving, going through the entry point.
Before I allow Chris to come in to ask you a few questions, I want to find out from you. You said it takes about 2 hours up.
Yes.
So
yes,
that
about
means,
2 hours.
So in all, you'd spend about 4 hours to and from, or to and fro. Is that it?
Yes. So going up there takes you about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But coming down, because you are descending,
it's
and
easier.
You have embarked on that journey before, it's easier. So when we're coming down, it was sort of a smooth sail for us. But going up, because we didn't know the terrain very well, it was very difficult, but not so difficult for farmers who frequent this path, going up and down, doing their farm activities daily, on a daily basis.
All right. So Hafiz, you mentioned that there are actually farms along that road. I also want to know, are there houses along the road too?
No. So the only house you see before the entry point, it's just that house before you go into that area. There are no houses. All you see are cocoa farms, cassava plantations, and you see also thick forests. You see other trees and all that. You don't see any house there.
Right. So what's the feeling of the farmers this morning, or from yesterday? How have the farmers been feeling?
Well, for them, this is the first time they are seeing a disaster of this magnitude. Most of them are so shocked. They are still in shock. They are not happy about what has happened, seeing that it has led to the loss of lives, and they never saw something like this happening. And seeing something like this is been very difficult. It's been very difficult for them, and you see them in the background here in small groups still talking about some of these incidences. And the opinion leaders were also so swift to tell them that no one should go to their farm, because they know that the aftermath of the incident will be that there will be further investigations on this matter. So no one should go there and tamper with any evidence the investigative team would have been seeking to find.
Right. Is this community a mining community?
It's a purely farming community.
Okay.
It's not a mining community. It's a purely farming community. Yeah, where the inhabitants here engage in cocoa farming and cassava farming.
All right. Thank you so much, Hafiz.
Hafiz, thank you so much. Keep monitoring activities for us there in this area. And Hafiz, we are grateful. Hafiz Tijani is our Ashanti regional correspondent, bringing us up to speed what is happening on the grounds. Chris? I think we'll go for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you more on Breakfast Daily here. We are still bringing you what has happened to the 8 gallant men who died in their line of duty.
For a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. This is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups,
startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining Made in Ghana across every sector. The dates, Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through to 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the A4 Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, and Side Hassle. Accra High School announces Founders Day 2025. We are delighted to invite you to our annual Founders Day celebration themed Trailblazing Education, Private Initiatives, Breaking Barriers in Ghana's Post-Basic Education. Join us on Sunday, 17th of August 2025 at 11 a.m. at the school forecourt as we honor our founders and celebrate innovative efforts shaping the future of education in Ghana. We look forward to your presence as we reflect on our journey and explore new avenues for progress. Our guest speaker is Onukba Peter Yao Bosruchi and our chairman is Onukba Daniel Ni Otokuno Saki. Don't forget, it's Sunday, 17th of August 2025 at 11 a.m. at the school forecourt. See you there. Redimentis Opportunitatem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new episode of Doctor in the House, and we are going to be having a continuation of the topic that we started last week, which is the nose and paranasal sinuses. We learned a lot, and you sent a lot of questions, which we'll still be going through, especially for the questions that we couldn't go through last week. We will get to answer it on the show. But if you have more questions about your nose and paranasal sinuses, especially as we learn along, you can send the questions via the WhatsApp number on the screen. And obviously, I'm sure you're wondering, who is the doctor in the house today? It's no other person than Brigadier General Dr. Ni Obodai, who is an ENT surgeon and former commander at the 37 Military Hospital and now a medical director of Roseburg ENT Clinic at East Legon here in Accra. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
Doing good.
Yeah. So, you didn't bring our little friend today.
Oh, yes. I gave him a day off.
Oh, he's okay. I get it. I get it. All right. So we are still talking about our nose and paranasal issues. So before we get into it, before we continue, or let's say before we get into the part 2, we have some questions from last week. So this person says, I had experienced running nose continuously for about 10 years. I would be okay for like 2 weeks and it relapses. I used this immune booster called Miracell, and that did the magic for me.
Okay.
It's a comment.
Once you have a good formula, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but can someone have like continuous running nose for 10 years?
Yeah, it can. It may be on and off. I can. But before I push on, let me just add my voice to the sentiments of the nation in our morning state. Yeah. It can. It may be on and off. I can. But before I push on, let me just add my voice to the sentiments of the nation in our morning state. Yeah. It can. It may be on and off. I can. But before I push on, let me just add my voice to the sentiments of the nation in our morning state. Yeah. Of the nation in our morning state. and send my condolences and heartfelt, situations to the families.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the ministries, the appointees, the officers and men of the armed forces,
Right.
particularly the Ghana Air Force.
Right.
Condolences and big salute to them.
Yes.
Very well. So concerning the runny nose, you can have it for a period of time if what is causing the thing, it's there with you, present with you regularly. Okay, if it's an allergic situation, whether seasonal or perennial, if you're in contact with that situation, you will keep having the symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very unlikely.
Right.
It's very likely you can have that situation running. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he has Miracell, what he says, an immune booster, which is taking care of the issue, if it's not broken, you don't fix it. So
Right.
then that's good enough for him.
So let me ask a question based on what he said about the immune booster. Do you think there are immune boosters or, say, pills that can actually help?
I'm hearing it for the first time. I haven't used any boosters to treat anybody's allergic rhinitis. Okay, so I don't know how he arrives at that.
So this
whether
is
he's actually been tested.
Yeah.
It's a rhinitis.
Yeah, rhinitis because it's a runny nose.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
You
what
got
we-
it.
Yes.
You got
I'm
it.
a good student. All right, so we have another one. Hello, Doc and Chris. My sense of smell has drastically reduced. I have been asked to use oregano oil, but by the ENT specialist, but it still persists. Please help me.
Wow.
You know the sense of smell thing, I never knew it was a thing until during the COVID pandemic.
Exactly.
I actually lost my sense of smell.
For a lot of people,
Yeah,
that was
so,
the main symptom.
yeah.
Okay, we didn't even mention that. We didn't mention anything. I intended to go into that direction today about the sense of smell. You can't lose your sense of smell. You have experienced that partially or totally. Okay. Now, what is the cause? I keep saying that all the time. What is the cause? If it's an obstructive thing, you have polyps that have filled your nose is running, the mucosa is so engorged, and the stimulus doesn't even go through the nasal passages to reach the point where the exchange takes place.
Yeah.
Temporarily, you have a loss of smell.
Right.
Okay, if you get a virulent virus that destroys the cribriform plate, the level where the exchange takes place, again, it's scarred.
Yeah.
So the exchange doesn't take place well. You either have partial or total loss. If you get a trauma, RTA, fight, anything, and you get a hit right in the forehead, you still have a problem because the olfactory lobe is lying right in the frontal, under the frontal lobe, right under the forehead, on the forehead. So what is the cause of the loss of smell? Is it a hypo, which is a partial, or anosmia, total loss?
Right.
Okay. So what he's using there, usually you want to find out what it is. If it is obstructive, surgically clear up the passages, and you're free. If it's the healing of the plate, the mucosa of the plate, get some steroids in there, all right. And then if it's trauma, you have to do reposition, and then the nerve can get a shock.
Right. So would you say it's, okay, how would you describe the one that happened during COVID?
The one that happened during COVID is a virus thing. So it affects
it's
the
viral,
plate.
yeah.
Yes, it's viral. It affects the plate there where the exchange of the gases take place. So once that area is scarred, it affects the sense of smell, and then you lose it.
Yeah, and you mentioned something, polyps.
You can have nasal polyps that will
so
fill the cavity.
What is nasal polyps? Can you share with us how they form and what are
Nasal polyps are glassy, kind of translucent masses that fill the nasal cavity as a response to some of these allergic irritations that you have in the mucosa.
Can we
and
see
it comes
it
typical,
if somebody bends down?
Oh yes, if it's huge, you can see it, glassy. If you shine light through it, you can see it through it. It's not a full mass. It's a glassy kind of mass, transparent. Okay,
in the nose.
and if it's in the nose, it could really push up, protrude to the outer spaces.
It can come out of the outer space.
Yes, my dear.
And it's called polyps.
They're nasal polyps. And you can so feel the canal, you cannot breathe through the nasal cavity at all because it's full. No air goes through. If it's bilateral, you only have to breathe through your mouth.
And how is that cured?
If it doesn't shrink by medications, you have to go surgically and get it out.
Ooh.
So you got to do nasal polypectomy, go in there, remove the polyps, get the nasal passages free once again. Then you can have gaseous exchange. Then you can smell. Because, you see, the sense of smell, we played down on it for a while. I enjoy my coffee before I even taste it. Because you smell it.
I enjoy my wine before tasting it.
Okay, there we go. So you smell it,
So
and
I
then
was
it
very
adds onto
paranoid
it.
when I couldn't smell.
When you couldn't smell,
during COVID. I was so paranoid.
You enter the room, you smell the food, oh God, before you even sit at it. So the sense of smell is so important, and it only happens
So
through
when you
the
say
nose.
smell also affects taste?
Smell affects taste, let's like I said, not directly, but then like I said, it aids the taste because you have smelled and then you get the taste. Some of the nervous linings go through the same taste and then comes through the, what do you call it, the secretion as well. So they're related.
All right. So since we're talking about the nose, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I've heard about something called a deviated septum.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So what is a deviated septum?
That's cool.
And I actually heard, first of all, the word septum was because I like piercings. So the septum piercing. And then someone was like, oh, okay, do you know there's actually a condition called a deviated septum that happens in the nose? I'm like, what is it? Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I'm sorry I didn't bring Jack. I would have just showed you what exactly it. Now, the nasal cavities are split right through the midline into two. So that partition in the middle is the nasal septum.
Yeah. Okay, so like the partitioning in the middle.
If you picked it up right there, that division.
Yeah.
Okay, the line or the mark that divides the two cavities in the nasal, anterior nasal nerve, is the septum. Okay, so if you touch the left, you cannot go through the right.
Right.
Because the septum
there's a blockage
is the limiting
here.
area. Exactly. That is the septum. The anterior part of it is cartilage. That's where people want to pierce.
Yeah.
The vestibule is even skin. The anterior part of it is cartilage, but the posterior part is bone. So if I brought Jack, you would have seen the bony septum, vomer at the back of it. But the anterior part is septum. So that breaks away. So that is the septum. The people who get accidents in fights and all that, and you get a fractured nose, it could fracture or deviate your septum as well.
Oh, is that why, like, say someone gets an accident or maybe get blown on the face?
Hit.
Yes, the nose can.
The nose can shift.
It can shift.
Yes, immediately is the nasal bones that are fractured.
Yeah.
But it may also affect the septum. The septum can actually fracture,
and
which has to be repositioned surgically.
Okay, surgically.
Yes, ma'am.
I was going to ask something because, you know, in movies, especially in movies, when you see someone's nose is shifty, like you just see...
It just pushes it back.
And the person screams, oh, but it gets straight.
You could temporarily...
Can you do that
You
with
could
your
temporarily,
hand?
yes, just push it back in place.
Ooh,
it's
it'll be
painful, certainly. You could push it back in place, but then permanently, you will have to actually reposition it surgically. Make sure it's back in line, and then cast it because it's a bone.
So how important is that bone being straight to the face?
Well, if you mind what your face looks like, it's important to have a straight nose.
Okay.
And it was made straight, actually. Because if your nose is crooked and it's shifted and you don't mind and you're okay with it, people will be pointing to your nose right through the town. Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Right.
So it's important to reposition it so it doesn't affect the lower portions, for example, the septum, and come back again and affect breathing. You can have a septum deviation after trauma, which occludes one whole cavity. The septum is so fractured or deviated, coming back to the original point. So deviated, it reduces the airflow from that side.
Right. So now let's talk about septum piercings. Do they actually affect
Well, the septum piercing is more in the vestibule.
Right.
Okay, and that is
So that's the cartilage side, right?
Even the skin before the cartilage.
All right.
You're not even piercing through the cartilage.
Okay.
Now, it's just the skin in front. That's the vestibule. So you're not actually going through the cartilage. You go through the skin.
Okay.
Now, when they pierce the ears,
they go with
here at the normal point, the lobule, that's skin.
Yeah.
But when they pierce all line here, they go through the cartilage.
Yeah.
And some get reactions from the hypertrophied scars, and they get keloids hanging behind the ear.
Yes, I know they get keloids. Yeah.
You know, so in that case, you go through the cartilage.
So you can also get keloids on your nose. Is that what you're saying?
It's a skin condition. So wherever you have skin, if you have a petrified skin scar, you can get a keloid.
Right.
So
Okay.
then, to answer that straight away, it's typically in the vestibule where it's skin in the nose there. They don't go to the to the cartilaginous part
And it
of
doesn't cause any harm.
No.
All right. Okay. So aesthetically.
If you're fine with it,
Yeah. Aesthetically, you can look like a cute cow if you want it.
there you go.
Whoa. Anyway, we have some questions here. Good morning, doctor. Please, I have not been able to detect scent for more than years now. I can only feel unpleasant about the air I inhale, but I won't be able to determine the scent I'm experiencing.
Yeah, you can have a condition like that.
And what, like, so what do you do?
If the sense of smell is so distorted, okay, you can smell tea and think it's cooking oil. It's a messed up system. Call it cacosmia. I mean, you're smelling the wrong thing.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
what do you do? How
You still have to go back to the same treatment as if you have a hyposmia or have an anosmia and still treat it depending on the basis. If you check and it's obstructions or the nerve is messed up, you got a shock of the olfactory nerve and temporarily went into distortion, you can smell things wrongly.
Yeah.
It can happen.
So, Doc,
but importantly, for this reason, this smell we're talking about is so important in our homes. Okay, for 70 to 80% of people cooking with gas. So important. If you got into your kitchen and the gas is leaking and you can't even smell it,
it's a problem.
You are going to get in trouble. Okay, so it's also very important to get to know and find out what's going on. If you're smelling things wrongly, hey, let's examine it, find out what it is, put you on some treatment and get it back.
Right. Doc, so I have a question. Because
I'm listening.
We keep talking about, go back, go to
Get
your
to the
hospital
doctor.
and then probably we do a surgery and all that. And I have a very photographic memory and I like to imagine things.
I hear you.
When you talk about surgery, how is the opening? Like, are they opening from the front? Are they opening from
Which surgery are you referring to?
in nasal, like all the surgeries that you're talking about? Or does it go from under? Like,
Okay.
is there a particular way that it's done?
Yeah, for most of them, we're not doing any external incisions at all.
Okay.
For most of them, they are done intranasally. Intranasally
what
meaning.
does that mean?
Intranasally meaning we put you to sleep, okay? Get the nasal passages open. We can see, we have scopes, very thin scopes, fine scopes that can go right through the nasal cavity. So we see it, do it intranasally. We hardly give you scars outside.
Okay.
Unless you're doing other structures like mucocil, where you have to actually cut open and expose the forehead so you can drill into the frontal sinus, then you get scars. But we do it so nicely, right along the brow. So after you've done it, you closed it, you might not even see you have a scar. So most of them are done intranasally.
Right.
Septum, plastic, nasal polypectomy, cautery. Nose bleeding, you have to do cautery. You come in, you're all done nasally, intranasally. So for most of them, we don't give you external incisions at all.
All right. So this one says, good morning, doctor. Most times I feel something itching in my nose cavity and it generates in my ear. I have to produce some sounds in there and scratch in there. I'm sure it's
there, that's the thing.
What could be the cause
grunting
and
kind of thing.
remedy to the condition, and what kind of condition is it?
Yeah, I'll throw it back at the patient. I mean, back at the questioner, because a lot of them, typically allergies, is the patient who should identify what exactly is giving him or her the trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a question of being a little careful. Find out what you're exposed to, your immediate environment. What is it that makes my nose itch, makes it run, or I sneeze? 3 signs. Immediately you know you're reacting to something.
Right.
Okay, so it's important to just be a little careful. Find out what's going on in your immediate environment, and then you can be able to put a finger on it. As a matter of fact, if you're able to put a finger on the irritant,
then you're free.
And you're able to cut it out, your problems are solved.
All right, so good morning, doctor. I have a problem. I get serious running nose almost any time I am eating. It can sometimes be embarrassing. Could it be medical? And this person is Sampe. Sampe is asking if it could be medical. Well, if you ask me...
It is.
No, if you ask me from a layman view, I'm a saying it's pepper.
Yeah, so I was wondering, what are you eating?
Pepper. When you eat hot pepper, You do?
Yeah. You will run, and then the capsicum will just irritate the passages and everything. So some people think it's okay, cleans the sinuses because your nose is running, your eyes are tearing up kind of thing. Hot pepper, all right?
But what if it's not pepper? Could it be something else?
Yeah, so I want to find out what he's eating. Okay, is it something particular or anything he eats at all?
Okay.
Okay, so it's important to actually find out what is it.
What are you
like
eating?
you're saying, if it's pepper, if it's some particular spice,
yeah,
then you know you're getting trouble with it.
Okay.
Even just by smelling it, irritates the nasal mucosa, boom, it starts running, you're reacting.
Right. So,
So
Doc,
what is it?
are you trying to tell us that it's not normal? It shouldn't be normal for us to see it as normal when you eat a lot of spicy food and then you have runny nose?
If you eat hot pepper, your nose runs. I'm not admitting you for anything at all.
Okay.
Yeah, temporarily, your nose runs, finish eating, end of
that's
story.
it. All right.
It dries up.
Yeah. So it cannot cause anything more serious than that.
It's a temporary thing.
Okay. All right. So good morning, doctor. Please, whenever my husband is eating, he has runny nose.
Oh, Lord.
We just talked about this.
Is it going to stop him from eating or what?
Now, good morning, doctor.
Oh, my God.
My son has breathing issues. Always rubs his nose. More times breathes hard, and it's difficult to throw out phlegms. This has been with him more than a year, and this is Chrisman from Bush Road.
Same allergy.
Allergy.
If it's
rubbing the nose.
Rubbing, grunting kind of thing, it's still allergy. As a matter of fact, if you're breathing, if you haven't done anything like running up the stairs or anything, and you're breathing and somebody is hearing you, then your breathing is becoming labored.
Right.
Okay, because breathing, if I sit down quietly and breathe, you don't hear me breathing. All right. But if you're breathing, the nasal is opening up, flaring, that means that the breathing is labored.
All right. So this one says, Doctor, I have been experiencing bad breath and it's worrying. I need help, please. And also, talking about bad breath again, someone also said, I am Henry Fayo from Ashale Bochwe. I have been getting running nose and sometimes blocked nose for about 15 years. And I do...
15?
Yep. And I do experience foul smell coming out from my nose. So, bad breath and foul smell.
Yeah.
What's
all right.
that?
The runny nose, I think we've gone through that bit already. The bad breath, there are two areas in the oral pharynx that can give you that, okay? Like we're looking at this, what do you call it, this posture right here.
Yeah.
The fluid in there is pus.
It's pus?
Yeah, if you have a chronic sinus, where's my pointer? I don't know if I can point it.
Yeah, sure.
If you have, not on the screen, here, but on the screen.
Right.
Okay. So if you have that yellow part out there on this is the left side.
Right.
It's chronic sinusitis that has created pus that is stuck in the maxillary sinus.
So on a normal day, it's not supposed to be...
No, it's supposed to be as empty as this. Yeah.
Oh.
It's full of air.
Oh.
So if it gets full of pus is offensive. This like the discharge you get from a boil.
Yeah.
It's offensive. So if it stays in there for so long, like I said, the sinuses are all connected to the nose. So when you're breathing in or breathing out, the air goes in and comes back out.
So you can feel it.
So what is sitting in the sinus, like the fluid or the pus that I'm talking about, it communicates with the nasal cavity. So there's something. The second part is what we'll talk about probably next week, chronic tonsillitis.
That's another topic. So
those are the two typical
things.
things.
Filled in that area, right? And say this person that
gives you bad breath.
Is experiencing bad breath or can even smell, that foul smell. What's the procedure for that? Is it like a medication that should be given to probably dry it up, or they have to suck it up?
We'll have to go for it. We'll have to drain it. Okay. You could do endoscopic sinus surgery, go in and work on that, get it out. You could do an antrum puncture.
Doc, you can stand up, right?
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's good. I have a good diagram here. So here we are. This one here, unfortunately, is opening up through the cavity there. So once you have the pus sitting here, it's kind of stuck, like this one here.
So that's the pus there.
This is pus sitting here. So what we can do, go in endoscopically, go there, put a suction machine and get it out, or do an antrum puncture, get a trocar and cannula, enter here,
And
then
suck
drain it out, wash it out, drain it out, so you free the cavity once again.
So it's
an antrum puncture you can do.
Endoscopic.
Endoscopic sinus surgery.
Oh, I know endoscopy. I know endoscopy.
Thank you very much.
Endoscopy, but I never thought you would have to put.
Oh yeah, you can do
endoscopy. Goes anywhere.
Functional endoscopic sinus surgery.
I thought
so
it was
you go
only in the
there.
stomach that it goes.
Oh yeah, you could do that. Laparoscopic, surgery or that. So you could do that endoscopic here. Go in as well. So there's no external cut.
So that's a little camera, like you
yeah. It's a scope. You go in right there. You're seeing everything. So you're directing your equipment right in there. So you can get right there, get suction down, and evacuate it. Otherwise,
I'm
just
trying to
go.
touch my face,
Yeah, there you
go.
go. You feel it.
Yeah, trying to understand how
you feel it. So that can give you
can
that
even
condition.
go there.
Yeah, we know where to pass. So no, I mean, but that's the direction I've given you.
Yes.
If it's from the endoscopy, you go through the natural opening and then get through it. If it's creating a fence, a window down there, then you can go through the antrum puncture, put a trocar and cannula into the antrum, drain it, and possibly create a window there so that pus doesn't collect there anymore, which you call an antrostomy or fenestration.
Right. So all this that we're talking about, it still has to do with the sinus.
With the sinus, exactly. Paranasal sinus. Typically, in this case, it's typically the maxillary sinuses. These ones
those
here.
big ones on the side.
They are the typical ones that create this issue. On the frontal area, you can get a ostium or the opening also choking so much, it creates another condition like a mucosal because it's not draining anymore. The secretions all collect, and it can collect and become so hefty, it creates pressure even on the forehead. So you can see a bulge. That's a mucosal. You have to go in and drain it.
Here?
Right at the frontal. But if it's for chronic sinusitis, it's typically the biggest of them or the maxillary sinus that we're seeing here, clearly seeing right here.
Wow, it's actually amazing how we see the nose in one spot. That's in the middle of our face.
Yeah, and that's what we see.
Yeah, that's what we see.
Exactly.
But with the diagram, obviously, we can see that it's not just here, it's all the way.
The paranasal sinuses.
All the way around the face.
Nose,
But now let's talk about the sinusitis. Sinusitis.
Thank you. Okay, let me help you. Sinus. Sinusitis.
Sinusitis.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the sinusitis again.
Yes.
Are there some home remedies that people can actually use to relieve their sinus?
Yeah. People are doing all kinds of things. People are inhaling all kinds of things.
But is it safe?
No, it's not. I will go in with, I know it's bacterial, so I'll go with antibiotics and give you analgesics for pain. Okay, so inhaling steam, which you were doing during COVID, everybody was inhaling. Neem trees were all finished in Accra because they were boiling and inhaling. All kinds of concoctions. All right. So if it comes to herbal homemade medicines, you have no idea what people do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you don't also know the limits of what you're taking.
I will put in antibiotics and painkillers and treat your sinusitis.
So, but at what point do you realize that, okay, you know what, I need to be prescribed some antibiotics?
Oh, the nose is running, purulent discharge, pus is flowing out of your nostrils, you're inhaling steam, you're drinking hot tea, you're eating chicken soup, the nose is still running. Hey, you need to take care of the cause of it. And it's bacterial. So let's get antibiotics in. You can do swab, culture, sensitivity, all that, but we know, broad spectrum antibiotics. Hit you with that, and your nose dries up.
Right.
So you need to get treated.
Okay.
And you're not walking into the pharmacy to go and get. You don't know what to get. So at least get it treated, get it diagnosed, and then well treated. Sinusitis is very easily treatable.
Right. We know children are very delicate, but now, how do sinus conditions actually present in children?
Yeah, kids, the sinuses develop much later for some of them. But then for most of them, it's the ethmoidal sinus that create trouble. You can have a kid who has a cold, the next thing you know, the lower eyelid is popped out.
Under.
It's pushed into the ethmoidal sinuses.
Oh, okay.
So that manifests most for the kids.
Right.
And you see the lower eyelid swollen. What's going on? It's an ethmoidal sinusitis. Okay, which must be appropriately treated. So that happens typically for kids.
All right. Can drinking water help clear your sinuses?
No. It's going into your stomach. I'm sorry.
I know it's not meant to be
If you're
funny,
drinking-
but the way you answer.
If you're drinking, it's going in your stomach.
Right.
But if you're using it for irrigation, which I hardly do, because you can choke.
Irrigation like the
Yeah.
nose?
Some people get water and try to inhale.
Oh, yeah.
Inhale and
yeah,
hold.
for it to come out from the other side.
Yeah, try to hold and then bring it back out. If you're using the water, drinking water for that irrigation purpose, fine. But I hardly do that. Okay, because you're not going into the sinus and coming back out. It's just in the nasal cavity.
Right.
The water.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you push it into the cavity, it's stuck there, it's not coming out.
What about humidifiers?
Humidifiers is
Do they actually
gaseous. It's gaseous, you can inhale.
But
You can inhale.
Does it help you?
Yes, I mean, if you get menthol,
Right.
if you get menthol, sometimes you do inhalation.
Yeah.
If you get menthol and you put it in hot water, cover and inhale, it gives you that soothing effect. That can help.
Okay.
If you put in Chinese rub, I don't know what result you get because it's hot. If you put in,
What about ginger?
yeah, so ginger, people have it in their mouths all the time.
Right.
Yeah, it burns the pigments and everything, so supposedly helping.
Right.
If it does actually help, fine.
But
But that's the main ingredient of the herbal or homemade medication.
Right.
Ginger.
Yeah. So, Doc, for people who have had COVID, right? With
Yes.
COVID-19, in the past, we've heard that there's something called long-term COVID and short-term COVID. Has COVID-19 actually changed the way people understand, the loss of smell and the sinus health?
Yes, it has. But I must say again that for most people, it was just a temporary symptom. Okay, I've had a few people who said they had it and it persisted for a long time. But usually for the COVID period, it was a temporary kind of thing, short period. Once you get it over,
You're
get the
done.
treatment done, the smell comes back again to normal. So it may be other causes that makes it so permanent.
Okay.
And that affects your smell.
All right, Doc, what's the tip of the day?
The tip of the day, here we are. We should once again pay attention to our environment. Don't get unnecessarily abused with irritants and allergens because your sense of smell is also very, very important.
Right. Thank you so much, Doc. How can people reach out to you?
Yes, so you can find I'm working with the Rosbeck Ear, Nose and Throat Clinic, located on Trinity Avenue, directly opposite the Chartered Institute of Bankers, and co-located with Pamoni Clothing. The numbers to call 0244-380-802, 0244-380-802, 054-772-2195. Last one again, 054-772-2195.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, so we've been speaking to the doctor in the house, who is Brigadier General Dr. Ni Obodai, and he is the director, the medical director of Roseburg ENT Clinic at East Legon here in Accra. Thank you for joining us, and also thank you for sending in your messages. For the messages that we didn't read, of course, we will get to read it next week. So see you next week right here, same time. Bye.
Congratulations to all top 50 contestants of the Literacy Challenge 2025 Level 2. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Stay tuned to City FM and Channel 1 TV to find out which of these 50 contestants make it as the top 10 finalists for the Literacy Challenge 2025 to compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis and a trophy in a classic quiz competition. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Bell Moo and GB Assessment.
for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. This is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the A4 Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205-973-973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, and Side Hassle.
Many thanks for still joining us here on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. It's now time for us to have an interesting conversation. Maybe there's a particular music you may have heard, you may have been jumping to and all that, but you don't know the individual behind it. A number of times the people behind the scene, we do not see them in the music space. But today we are going to have a conversation with an individual who has been playing in the industry for a very long time. He's a musician. Maybe he may not sing, but he's really versed with the things in the music sector or the music industry. His name is Kwame Yeboah. Kwame Yeboah, how are you?
I am very, very well, man. I'm just buzzing.
Just
I'm
buzzing.
good. Still mourning at the same time,
Yeah,
but
we are.
you know, we're all mourning. But I'm happy to have life, and it's a shame that we're losing people like that. But we give thanks, and I hope my condolences and my heart goes out to the families. I can't even imagine what's going on with them. It's
a very sad one. So, Kwame, let's start. But before we start, let me say a few things. Kwame Yeboah is a free spirit at the crossroads of high life and jazz. A musician, producer, and a multi-instrumentalist. He's known for soulful cross-cultural music rooted in Ghanaian tradition. So you may have heard this music, Ogbejeke, Ejeke, Ojeshong. Let's start with that one from Nat Brew, right?
He changed his name though.
He changed his name.
Amanziba is his name.
Amanziba.
Actually, when we were recording the album, his name was Nat Brew at that time.
Nat Brew, yeah.
And he changed his name on that particular project.
To Amanziba.
Amanziba, yeah.
Why?
I think he wanted. I mean, he's a naturalist. He's a very his heart is down for Ghana and Africa, and he's a purist, a traditionalist. So he felt like Nat Brew didn't sit with him as well as having a Amanziba. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you listen to that album, there's a lot about Ghana on that album. And the whole project was more about Ghana and.
Kwame Yeboah, tell us about yourself. You are a Ghanaian. Your name depicts it.
Yeah.
But where did you start life?
Ghana. I started life in Ghana. I I think I've completed a couple of life cycles already,
Yeah.
even though I haven't. I grew up in Ghana, Abeka La Paz, and played
Oh,
music.
La Paz.
Yes, yes, that's my area, man. That's my manor. I love it. Yeah. Until about 1920, when I was about 19, 20 years, that's when I moved to the UK, and started life again over there, and that's how it's been. And it's been a great ride. I can't complain. I feel blessed. I feel happy to be Ghanaian and doing what I do, and it's great.
And all this while you've been wanting to do music, is this something that started way back at home?
I think I was
you learned?
I was robbed of whatever life I was going to have, or this is the life I was going to have, because from the people that saw me from early days, they keep saying they saw it from when I was 4 or 5 years old or 3 years old. I would play with different things, and when I was 7, I could play some guitar, little boy's guitar playing.
So you had the instruments at home?
Yes, my dad's a musician, so every instrument was at home, and I learned to play all of them.
And you moved on to a music school?
Yes, I went to music school in Denmark between 1997 and 2000. I did the course, and yeah. And then from there, I went to live in the UK. Obviously, as you can see, with that qualification, I didn't get that much work here. I had to...
What was the qualification, and why is that you're saying that you didn't get much work here? I know there are a lot of musicians you've dealt with in Ghana. Pat Thomas, Kwabena, you've dealt with Kojo Entry, even Daddy Lumba.
Yes, yes. I actually worked with Daddy Lumba before I worked with Kojo Entry or any other people. Yeah, I worked with Daddy Lumba quite early on in my career. Like I must have been around 11 or 12, I think. Before I was 13, yeah, I did. And we stayed friends the whole time. May his soul rest in peace, actually, as well.
So being in Ghana, say from the age of 7, when you started playing the instrument and all that, before you moved out at the age of 20, how was it like? Were you getting people come on board and you work with them because you did something with KK Kabobo?
Yeah. I mean, all that time, I did a lot. I was privileged enough to be in the right scene. I did loads of recordings with, different artists. I played loads of songs. I recorded, produced Helena Rabbles, Tego Sisters, I don't know, a lot of names, a lot of different names, even from those days. Felix Owusu. I think I must have made the introduction between Felix Owusu and Daddy Lumba. I think I was the person that made that connection before Felix Owusu's first album came out, because Felix is a good friend of mine as well. He's like a brother. He comes from the same place I come from, same area. We're both from the Western region, and yeah.
How did these people get to know of Kwame Yeboah, that let's bring him on board, Daddy Lumba, and let's get Helena Rabbles working with you, KK Kabobo? Is this something significant that you did that really brought these people close to you, that they said, I wanted to work with you?
With Daddy Lumba's one, it was 2 things. I knew Papa Shi. You know who Papa Shi is? He's an evangelist, Papa Shi now.
Yeah.
I knew him because he used to play with Ampofoje. He was in Ampofoje's band, AAA. You know the song, If You Do Good, you do for yourself. That's Ampofoje's song.
If you do bad, you do for yourself.
And Papa Shi used to be in Ampofoje's band. I knew him from that time. And around, I think it was just early 90s, we were playing at the church, myself and 2 other friends of mine. And that church happened to be opposite Lumba's house. So after rehearsal one day, we came out of church and I saw Nana Yao, and he's like, "Oh, Kwame, something is happening. Lumba has a show tonight at the Branches Sport, but the band is not together, yada, yada, yada. It's a good thing I've met you. Let's go and let's say hi to Brian, then we can see what we can do tonight, because it's a good thing I met you." Like, okay, it's a bit impromptu, like, yeah. So that same day, we went around and got a few guys to practice together. I was the youngest guy around the time, and then we did a show. That's how it started, and that's it. KK Kabobo, I know him because of my dad. My dad's a musician, so he had lots of people coming in. Helena Rabbles, I knew her through what's her name? I know her through Tego Sisters, because I was working with Megastar Band and Tego Sisters, and they were friends, and that's how we got to know each other. And then, sure, I knew other people from different parts, that the whole thing is a bit of a puzzle that comes from different places and all joins together.
That's interesting. So you've been doing this for about how many years?
My whole life.
Your whole life.
That's how I see it.
So how was it like when you moved to the UK? Did you do something else in other countries outside the UK? But how was it like working in the UK? And which people did you work with there?
In the UK, I was privileged. Actually, I moved to the UK because I first got the opportunity to travel there with megastar band Tego Sisters. We went to record, the song Ankama Titi.
Ankama Sekra.
Yeah, I produced that too.
Oh,
and,
nice.
And at that time, Ghana didn't have great studios to record in, so most of the recording was being done from abroad. And they insisted, or the management insisted, that they take me along. So they took me along, and I met the guys. And from the guys I met in the studio, they were like, "You need to live here." I'm like, I'm a champion in Ghana, I'm not gonna come and live here. And then at one point I was like, maybe I should think about that UK thing. So I had a few links before I even moved in, and I went there. I wanted to learn, and I'm always learning, still learning.
Wow. My sister, when she was in secondary school, if she wants to move out from the house and she wants to feel free in school, she plays this music or sings it. I'm walking away from the troubles in my life. I'm walking away.
Yeah.
You produced it?
I didn't produce it.
But what did you do in that music?
I met Craig after the first album. So I know a lot of people think I produced. I didn't produce that album.
Okay.
But I've worked with Craig since 2001. So that's what, 24 years, 20 something years now.
24 years.
23 years, 24 years. We're 2025, right?
Okay.
So 2001. Yeah. Fast forward a few years.
And aside Craig, which other individual were you working with?
I have worked with a lot of different artists. I worked with Tom Jones, with Daniel Bedingfield, Miss Dynamite. I've gone blank right now, but Courtney Pine.
And a number of them.
A number of them, yeah. Cat Stevens, yeah. Different artists, both America, UK, and everywhere.
How has it been like working as a producer, as an instrumentalist? We know your work, the people you've worked with know your work and all that. Is it, does it pay?
It pays. Well, it used to pay.
Used to?
Yes, it used to pay. And I love my job. I love what I do.
Okay.
It used to pay. There used to be a lot more money in music because money didn't come from streams or anything. It was sales. So if you sold one CD or one vinyl, you got £12 or £10 or whatever for it, and maybe a percentage went to the company, but the rest came to you. Whereas now, you can't get that for a stream, can you? A stream is like 0 point something. Yeah. Yeah. When I joined, there was money in it. And those days, when you toured, they gave you tour support. I mean, not Ghana, but in Europe. Whereas now, the money comes from the streaming or from whatever you get anywhere else. Before, it used to be you make the music, you tour to promote the music.
Okay.
Now you tour to make money.
Yes.
So back in the day, you go on tour and they'll, put money for you to promote.
Yeah.
So you go on tour and come back with loads of money. Now you have to make the music, and then when you tour, you get the money, to pay people.
But how is it like with royalties? We know of PPL UK.
Yes, PPL UK. Yeah,
yeah,
PPL is just for performance, though.
Okay.
It's not for, and some part of recordings. And royalties is good. And even that, the money's come down because there used to be a lot more publishing houses that will take you and give you advance and stuff before you get into it. But now it's not the same because we don't have radio play as big as, and you don't get streams don't make that much money.
Wow.
So royalties still, even though you make money out of it, but it's still not. You need.
But even with the royalties, looking at that, comparing the Western country to Ghana, how is it like? Because the artist has really put out the music there. We know you're supposed to pay a number of people as the music keeps playing.
I haven't received any royalties from Ghana yet.
Really?
But yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Anyway, so you think a lot more must be done when it comes to these?
When it comes to these things, a lot more must be done, and I hope it can be done because whenever these things come in, they don't call or they don't get the right people to help put a system in that can, make it work. And that's the biggest issue we have here. I think it's similar to lots of countries. It's like who you know. So people will call the people to know around instead of saying, actually, let's get that guy. He must be knowledgeable. Let's get this guy to come in and all that stuff. But
maybe you wouldn't get time to mention all the people you've worked with, but we know you've worked with Manifest.
Yes, I have. Yes.
You've worked with Becca.
Yes, I have.
Ifya.
Yes, I have.
And a number of them.
A number of them.
Let's check out Nat Bruce own. That is Amanziba.
Yes.
Wogbe Jeke. Ejeke Jeke. What they're shown. Enjoy. So you've enjoyed it there. Wogbe Jeke Jeke. What they're shown. Amanziba.
And I played all the instruments on it, actually.
Really?
Every instrument on there is from me. I didn't sing, but apart from the vocals, everything.
You do not look old.
I'm not
But you've
old.
done a lot of things that in the industry, people will say that an old man should have done.
I started young, that's why.
Started young.
Yeah, and I think I'm still young, right?
You want to talk about Esiama?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Esiama. I met this young guy online. Actually, a friend also introduced him to me. A good friend called Yakutu mentioned this guy that had an incredible voice, and she was like, Kwame, I think you're the best person to speak to this guy. And I'm like, yeah. I got his Instagram. I messaged him. I'm like, check me out. He goes, it's cool. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we didn't talk for like a year, and then the next year, he messaged me back saying, yeah, I'm ready. I want to meet. We met. I was like, great. I haven't seen, or heard this voice in a long time, so we'll do some work together.
Oh, beautiful.
Fast forward 3 years later. Of course, we're not going to do it right then and it's all finished. I had to take my time and make sure he's prepped, he's ready, he's got everything together. And everything got ready a few months ago. And I released his first single called Akuma, which we're going to perform. We were going to perform the new single, which is coming out on Saturday, but I think we should perform Akuma today, just so people can look forward to the next single.
Yeah.
And I am here because I want the world to hear Esiama's voice.
Yeah.
I want the world to be able to experience Esiama's voice because it's a breath of fresh air. And I don't think we've had that kind of talent out of here in a long time. In Ghana we have the genres of music is blurred. We're not sure what genre this is because everything's got high life or something with high life in it because whatever. But it's more about the vocal power and what he can do, and I think it's about time we had that some of that in the industry as well.
So we'll give you the chance and Esiama to perform. But I am Philip Nilate. I did a show with Chris Carter earlier. Nana Tufo Boatin was here to start the show. We will let Esiama and also Kwame Yeboah perform. So that you take us to the end of the show. So let's bring you the Wogbe Jeke Jeke what they're showing again. Then they will take us to the end of the show. Enjoy.
And yeah, let's just do it.
I drink past some dread. I drink so to me de water one morning. It be so simple to forget who you are. Desire to change your sanity. It be so simple to lose your way. Yami, myself, so me move, so me move. Mempai boni, mempai bonyo. Temi sufre ma mempai bonyo eni. Oh, mempai boni, mempai bonyo. Temi sufre ma mempai bonyo eni. Nanenya me ono nimne ye. Midi mi branyi na shehun so. Fawo hum shema kumemu ma. Bomi nantil enimiko na minyansa. Nima wanting into me. Oh, Jimmy free makumani my dream. Makumani my dream. Akumakume. Oh, Jimmy free makumani my dream. Makumani my dream. Akumakume. Oh, Jimmy free makumani my dream. Makumani my dream. Akumakume. Akumakume. Jimmy free makumani my dream. Makumani my dream. Akumakume.
Nice. Nice. Good. Thank you.
Mre